And we're live on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. I am Austin Pez Howell, joined as always by Richie Goodacre. And we're one less person short here tonight. We'll address that here in a moment. But Richie, how's it going? Long time no see since I saw you 15 minutes ago.
I know, right? It's been a while, but all good. I mean, to talk wrestling, talk, and burgeoning superstars, talking a lot of things,
talking commercials and ads,
talking fans being weird, talking just all the stuff that goes on in today's WWE and pro wrestling in general.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, we're going to get into all things WrestleMania. We'll talk about the follow-up on Raw. We got other news to cover on the other front, some things happening on the AEW front as well. And we got some news here to address on the show. So JPO, our good buddy, seems like he's going to be taking kind of a sabbatical from social media and YouTube shows and things like that, which I fully support. If he's burned out or needs to focus on his personal life, I totally understand that. We always want to support each other here in the community, so fully support that. Richie and I kind of talked behind the scenes, and we still want to talk wrestling because we enjoy talking wrestling, and I like talking wrestling, with you, Richie. So I certainly want to keep talking wrestling. But we may just end up going. We'll talk a little bit more about this at the end of the show. But we may be going to like a bi-weekly schedule, kind of to coincide with Wheel of Movies. So just kind of doubling up every other Thursday. We'll talk about that. But the show's still going to go on for now. We still want to talk some wrestling. So there's still things to talk about. The show will go on. We love you, JPO. We miss you already. But we'll be here when you get back, man. We promise. So, whenever you're ready, we will be here. As far as we'll jump into sort of the first things first, and we're going to keep the fantasy going, even with JPO here. I'm going to sort of make some executive decisions. If he has anybody on his roster that gets hurt or anything like that, I will do my best to keep it going and make good decisions for him. I promise. He still has a solid roster because we'll get into it, but he's still in first place, so he's still sitting pretty, even after WrestleMania. So he's still doing very, very good. So we'll keep it going for him for now. But it was a busy week as far as the fantasy goes, Richie. Quite the lively one. Obviously, when you have a SmackDown, 2 nights of WrestleMania, and a Raw to factor in, so quite a few points getting thrown around. I won't get into all the specific details because there's a lot of numbers on my paper that I've got here. This is all shout out to Rhonda for helping me out. This is all the points and things that we had to kind of go by, each person, like SmackDown, night 1, night 2, all this stuff, just going thing by thing. But to sum it all up, I won't bore you with all the details. JPO came out with 160 points after it was all said and done. Richie had 170 points, so you had a very good week there. So 170 points. I had 235 points, so I did make up a little bit of ground. I needed that because I did actually have, a lot of that, and we'll talk about it, came into a few unexpected things. Cody retaining the title in the main event of night 1, so that was 45 points off the bat there on my roster. And Roman Reigns winning the title in the main event of night 2 on a PLE, which is 50 points on its own. And then I also had Trick Williams picking up a title in the middle there too. So that certainly did not hurt my roster. That goes. And it's funny that I was gonna drop Roman after WrestleMania because he tends to take a break, but now that he's the damn champion, I ain't dropping him for a damn thing. He's still my wild card, so that's for sure.
We reckon he's going to be around for a bit. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he claims he is, and they've already got another match scheduled for him, so maybe it's true. We'll see. Yeah. We'll talk about that. And then Ronda had 135 points. So, your updated totals coming out of the week. So JPO is still in the lead at 1145. Richie, you were in third place at 1065 or 1065. Ronda's in second with 1090. And I'm in fourth place, but 1020. So not as far behind. So I've at least made up some ground where I was 200 points behind. Now I'm not as far back. And a quick note on that, we did do our predictions. I won the predictions. Thank God. I needed it. I needed a roster slot badly. I had 11 points on the predictions because I predicted, me and you both actually predicted Cody winning, and he did, which certainly helped as far as on that front. None of us had Roman winning. Unfortunately, we all had Punk winning, but I went perfect on night 2, other than Punk, and perfect on night 1, other than the women's tag team match. So,
Well, I don't think you get. I debated. I was. We'll get to it. I'm like, I got screwed over in that
yeah.
match with predictions. I'm like, do I get
Yeah.
half? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, even then, even had you gotten that point, you still would have only had 9. I still would have had 11, so it wouldn't make a difference. I still would have
I
won.
think what got
Yeah.
me was
Yeah.
I voted Sammy over Trick. Oh
You voted Sammy, and you also voted AJ in the AJ Becky match as well.
yeah, that's right.
So that didn't help you either. You were the only one who took AJ in that one. And yeah, she might be going absent. So, but with that, I did get an extra roster slot. So yeah, Richie, you still have a roster slot. So just putting that out there for the next second or two. We'll get there in a second. But since I am in fourth place, I do get first crack at it, and I am going to use it. So I am going to use it. Now, again, I was going to use it for Roman because he tends to take long hiatuses after big matches, but he won the title, so I'm definitely not getting rid of him because he's the damn champion right now. So I'm not touching him. He's still staying as my wild card. But the person I'm going to drop out is somebody that is taking a hiatus for filming, and also somebody who I don't think is going to be in any kind of title picture anytime soon or anything like that. So I feel okay dropping him. So I'm going to drop Drew McIntyre on my roster, who I actually drafted first on my roster because he ended up, the week I got him, he won the title literally the next day. So it was kind of a gamble that paid off early. But I also don't feel like Richie, and I feel like I don't think he's gonna be set up to be in the title picture or anything in the next couple of months. Even if he comes back, it's like I think he's just kind of be in the middle of the card. So I'm not terribly worried about dropping him. So I'm gonna drop him and swap him out for somebody that made his debut this week that I think is already being primed to be in a title contention of sorts. I'm taking Ethan Page. So sorry, I got him. I know you're a fan. I know you like him, but I'm going to snag him up before anybody else does. I'm taking all ego Ethan Page, who we'll talk about it later, but made his Raw debut and is already kind of being teased to jump almost right into the Intercontinental title picture. So I think he's going to get used. I think Triple H likes him. Shawn Michaels likes him. He won the NXT title pretty quickly, after he debuted. So I think he's going to do big things. I don't think he's going to be in the world title picture anytime soon, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to consistently be on TV and be in that kind of Intercontinental mix. So I think he's going to be a good point maker. So I'm going to take Ethan Page.
That's solid. I thought that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Looking at my roster, I don't.
Say Rhonda is in third, but she doesn't have one anyways. But yeah, you're in third, so you do have a roster slot if you take it. And there are options out there besides Ethan Page, as we'll talk about. There are some call ups and things. So, do you have your roster in front of you? Do I need to recap it for you? If I need to recap it for you, I can do that as well.
Go through my people and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, your 6 on the left, your male slots, you have El Grande Original, El Grande Americano. You have Randy Orton, Javon Evans, Logan Paul, El Grande Alternate, aka Kaiser, and you have Jacob Fatu. Your women, you have Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vicker, Bailey, and then your tag teams are the Wyatts, Los Americanos, and your wild card is Chelsea Green. So that, and again, your wild card can be anybody you want. You can pick anything you want. But that is your. But if you swap on a male side, you have to pick another male, etc. So that sort of thing. But wild card, you pick whoever you want. So yeah, I figured you might want to be thinking about a slot. If you'd like to use one, now's your chance. What do you got?
If I swap out a tag team, does it have to be for another? It has to be for another tag team, right?
Has to be for another tag team. Yes. Yes.
Does JPO have this? Do you have the Street Profit, or does JPO have the Street Profit?
Nobody has the Street. Well, actually, no. Rhonda has the Street Profits. She does actually. So I'm sorry. Rhonda actually has her second tag team was the Street Profits, even though they haven't been on TV in forever. But now they're back. Yeah.
Now they're back on Raw. I'm gonna. So Jake Fatu would be about. Yeah. Go through my 6 again. Just a 6. Just the on the left.
Jacob Fatu is your number 6.
Huh?
Jacob Fatu is your number 6.
I mean, just go through the.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, you have both El Grande Americanos, so those 2 of them. you have Randy Orton, Javon Evans, Logan Paul, and Jacob Fatu. And then your wild card slot, which you can sub in a male, a female, or a tag team, is Chelsea Green. So just throwing that
All
out
right.
there as well.
I'm gonna sub out Chelsea Green from a wild card and put Joe Henry.
Joe Hendry. Okay. Yeah, solid pick because he is showing up next week doing a concert, right? So, yes. So I figured you would go Joe Hendry or Sol Ruka because Sol Ruka is getting the call up. Yeah. I figured that would be a hot take. And nobody has Royce Keys either, and maybe he'll get a little push on SmackDown. We'll see.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there. But yeah, I figured if we had swapped, Richie, so if you were like in fourth and I was in third or something, and you took Ethan Page, I would have taken probably Joe Hendry right after you. So I figured those would go because I think he's gonna get TV time. He's gonna get matches. I think that's gonna be a solid pickup. So in the mid card there. So
I'll explain why it might be. We'll get into it. Why hopefully I don't know if hopefully Sol Ruka's okay. We'll see what I'll get to it.
Oh yeah. No, we'll talk about. Oh my God, that bump was she had staples in her head. I'm just throwing that out there. So we'll talk more about it. But yeah, that looked like it. So she took the Spike Dudley bump. If you know, you know. She took the La Resistance Spike Dudley bump. Ouch. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about that if you want, because I mean, it is a news story that happened on NXT. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about Sol Ruka. She showed up on Raw. As kind of a call up. She worked Liv Morgan in a really fun match. Got some good show off time there. She had a soul snatcher. She had a lot of her big moves. The crowd reacted to her very, very well. So I think she's going to get a lot of TV time when she gets going. But yeah, then she had her match with Zarya, the last woman standing match. And took a nasty kind of balcony fall
and the table.
Well, she didn't exactly miss them. She broke one of them. The problem was the other one didn't break, and her head just bounced off the table, the other table. They were laid out, right next to each other. So she hit the tables. She didn't it's not like she overshot them or undershot them, the tables per se. It's just like the second one didn't break, and her head just bounced off of it. And it was really kind of scary. Yeah, if you've ever seen the Spike Dudley thing where La Resistance tossed him over the ropes and then he didn't break the table, he just smashed his head on the back of the table. That's what it looked like. Gross. Yeah,
but it's from a great height. Like, holy shit! I mean, it looked like a really cool menacing heel thing. That was kind of cool. But yeah, it was just like, oh my God, you got to check if she's alive. Holy crap! But yeah, so I'm just waiting. Maybe she'll be on concussion protocol for a while, whereas I think Joe Henry will be in a feud straight away. But yeah,
okay, fair enough.
But yeah, like if something else were to happen to one of my women, obviously just gonna put out there. Sol Ruka, she's right there. So I will say that.
Speaking of injuries, I mean, we'll talk more about it when we get to the match. But Cody Rhodes and his eye injury, my God, did that thing look disgusting? Yeah, when he took the sunglasses off, and he's got both the black eye. I think they said he even cracked his orbital bone or something like that. It looked really rough. I mean, and when you see the kick, we'll talk about it in the match. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, Richie, if you just flat out told Randy, just full on, just kick me in the side of the head. Just do it. You know what I mean? Just lay it on and make it look good. If you're gonna do the punt kick for the first time and however long it's been since he's done the punt kick, just lay it in and make it look good.
Probably it. I imagine that's probably what happened. But holy hell! So, surprised even So I didn't even expect to see him on this week's TV, but he showed up.
He showed. I thought we'd at least be a week, before we saw him, or at least be till SmackDown or something, till we saw him. And totally. And look, if he had taken a few days off, totally understandable. Take time off, heal up a little bit. But he showed up and he's a trooper, man. He's a true workhorse. And he was there and he looked rough as well. We mentioned a few of the quick call ups. Because this doesn't affect essentially the fallout from WrestleMania and where the character, some of the other characters are going. This is just kind of the call-ups we got. We talked about the guy drafted. Ethan Page showed up and worked Javon Evans. And he's already, putting his intentions out there for the IC title picture. And we haven't really talked about this much, Richie, but man, the IC title picture and the US title picture on both the brands are kind of the most stacked sort of roster of people, roster of talent, on each brand, for what it
Yeah,
is, and kind of that middle like upper card. I mean, on Raw, you've got Pence as the champion, you got Ethan Page, you got Javon Evans, you got Dragon
Rusev,
Lee, Rusev, who else you
JD
got?
McDonough.
JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dom still in there. It's a true like pretty stacked group of talent that you can mix and match, for people who are
Yeah,
working, around there.
yeah. And then like US, you've got Trick, Sammy, Carmelo, Ilya Dragunov.
Alistair
Royce
Black.
Keys could fit in there. Yeah, Alistair Black, Royce Keys could fit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe, I mean, if Joe
that's
Hendry went to SmackDown or bounced between the two, he could bounce around there as well. One of those.
yeah,
So we'll see where he heads up.
yeah, yeah. So no, I think it's it's a stacked mid card. Just and so I think that's pretty healthy. Healthy there. If it was AEW, they'd be like, oh, we got a stacked mid card. Let's create 2 more titles.
Yeah, no, it's just like you can just have the one title that everybody's kind of fighting for and have fresh matches, where they're all kind of working each other and working towards a common goal. You can have that, and and then even if you repeat a match, a month and a half after the fact, it's still kind of fresh. You're not doing it every single week, so you could run Ethan and Javon back in a couple of weeks and it would still feel fresh. So we'll see where these guys go. Yeah, Soul looked good, Ethan looked good. Yeah, Joe Hendry will be on next week doing a concert, so I'm assuming somebody
sure
will.
no one will interrupt that, and
I'm sure that there will be no interruptions or anybody having objections to it. I'm sure it'll all go completely smooth and will not set up anything for the future. Yeah, 100%.
I also, I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm fairly certain. I reckon it will get call-ups for SmackDown tomorrow.
I think JC Jane is pretty certain to get the call up permanently. So I think we're going to see JC Jane, on SmackDown a lot. I'm hearing rumors that Ray is going to move over to SmackDown as well, and move over there, as well as CM Punk is kind of teasing that he might actually move over to SmackDown.
I was thinking maybe Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints could be a guy who could move over. Potentially. So. I could see that. He's a guy that's been there for quite a bit. That should probably move up at some point. So Ricky Saints is a guy who could move up. Until he got the title, I would have said Tony D'Angelo, but he's only just got the title, and I like him now. So
I think they'll give him a little run with the title for a little while. For maybe the rest of the year before they call him up. But he'll get the call up eventually. But I think now that he's got the title, he'll probably hang on to it for a little while. And continue to work. So, you'll see some new faces. Everyone's we didn't even mention the fact that Jacob Fatu showed up, and so he might be on Raw now. it seems like so. So I mean, but again, that's fresh as well. Him showing up on Raw, so fresh face over there. So that works. I mean, you need those kind of shakeups every now and then. I don't think they need to do these like official drafts and trades and all this stuff. It's just like I mean just have people show up wherever they want to. It's not that big a deal. If they want to show up on SmackDown, they can just show up on SmackDown. It's not, it should be like a locked thing.
Oh, and like we should mention, Rhea basically said goodbye to Io because she's going to be on SmackDown for a bit.
Well, I mean, but and even then between JC Jane and Rhea going to SmackDown again, that's fresh matches, especially for Rhea, who needs some fresh opponents. I mean, that already, unlocks. You could run the Jade thing back again, but you got Tiffany Stratton over there, you got Jordan Grace over there, you got JC Jane over there, you got B-Fab and Michin. You've got women over there that she can work that are fresh, not the same people, over and over again. So that freshens things up a little bit, over on the women's side of things. So I appreciate that. And you can even mix and match those. You could have the tag team women bounce between Raw and SmackDown. I don't think it's that big a deal, kind of bounce between the two. Keep that as well.
You've got another new old face there now, Paige.
Yeah.
So I think that's looking pretty the NXT women's division is pretty good as well. So like you've got a pretty healthy women's division there. So
Yeah, well, and you can even they've even brought up people briefly. Like I could see a Lola Vice popping up on SmackDown every now and then. She's got a lot of momentum behind them. I don't see her like being permanently called up probably for another year or so. But Blake Monroe, that's what I mean. Yeah, when Blake Monroe finally drops it, she'll probably get called up at some point. But down the line. So I mean, there's a healthy line of women kind of making their way up in the world. So I mean, again, strong divisions kind of on both shows. We'll talk a little on the AEW front. We had a lively Dynamite with a lot of crazy shit happening.
I saw a bit. I haven't watched all of it. I saw a bit of the Tommaso Ciampa, Darby Allin shit. Holy crap, man! That air raid from like the top, the
top from,
Tommaso from the to the outside, man. Jesus Christ.
I swear Darby just wants to die in the ring. Or, I don't know. Yeah, he's just. Oh, what's the craziest thing we can think of this week? Oh, how about if I do, like a Celtic cross? Oh, like from the top. Oh, like in the ring. Like that'd be a cool spot. No, just drop me on the floor from the top rope. Just oh my god. Yeah, and then Darby like jumped off the top rope and like leaped the like announce table and they crashed on there. Like that was nuts. The highlights from that were crazy. Will Ospreay took that nasty like pilot driver from Mark Davis on the apron. Where they like stopped the match and they're selling his neck again. Which Brian Alvarez like ranted about the other night, which I thought was funny. He was just like he's like, oh my god, just enough with this neck thing already. Either keep him off TV or just God, he needs to win this Owen already. Like I mean, they got a long time till Wembley, so I mean, they've got time to kind of tell the story. But it seems like he's kind of losing every week or just getting his ass handed to him. But with all the tape around him. But Samoa Joe is back. He showed back up on AEW, so had a quick squash match. So he's back in the picture. So that's always nice to see Joe back as well. So a lot of stuff happening on the AEW front as well.
Because it's like there's one thing Hook said that I was gonna I know there's gonna be new members. I'm gonna search for new members of the Ops, and then they dropped it.
They just dropped that out of nowhere.
So I'm just like, okay, I guess they've got Joe, they've got Shibata. I guess they can just rock the 3-man and maybe find a replacement for Hobbs. I don't know.
I mean, do they need to find a replacement for Hobbs? They've got a trios right there of Hook, Shibata, and Joe. So like, why do they need a replacement when they have 3 guys? That's odd.
Maybe they will, but I'm just saying maybe they will. I don't know.
So I mean, it seems like you got a ready-made trio right there. So just stick with it. And you can have them work. Are they heels or are they faces? That's the answer is still yes.
Yes. Hook is, but I don't know.
AEW can be tricky with that sometimes. Like, are the Death Riders faces or heels? Yes.
Yes. Like a couple of them aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they beat up on Will, but then like after the Mark Day, like Don Callis family went to beat him down, and like the Death Riders came to his rescue. Like Moxley came to his rescue to like protect him. Like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they heels or are they faces? I think sometimes I don't know.
Well, if we're going in the Don Callis family direction, like Andrade, where's he at?
He's in a heel faction, but he's working babyface. Well, I mean, at least with that, I think he's about to break away from the group and he's going to be a full-on babyface very soon. He's just like they're playing that story where he's in the heel faction, but he's not really a heel. So I mean, I get that if he's going to break out on his own, that's fine. We've seen that before where like guys will get cheered in a heel faction. I mean, we saw that with Batista forever when he was in the Evolution near the end. He's getting cheered. Even though it was in the heel faction. It can happen. So we'll see where that goes. But he's at least playing a babyface when he comes out there. Like he's working like a babyface. So Darby, is still champion. Apparently, again in AEW, Richie, all you have to do to get championship matches, cut a promo going, "I'm coming for the title," and they just give you a title match. Apparently,
title match. Okay.
The next week, sure. That must be convenient. Can I do that in the crowd? Can I just say I want you, Darby, and Darby will just accept the challenge and
Oh,
wrestle me
fair
next
enough.
week?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. That's that easy to title shot. All right, cool. So makes it questionable why other people just don't come through the curtain. What are
Yeah.
they doing? But yeah, it's and then you've got. I mean, it was confirmed last week. I think it was like what you're going to get Takeshita and Okada again at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd imagine Takeshita wins, but you never know.
Yeah, it seems like they always kind of position Takeshi to win, and then he doesn't. I don't know. I would hope he wins this time. Yeah, maybe he picks up that title. Whatever. I don't even remember who has what title, but I know Okada has subtitle. whatever that's
Oh,
the
subscription.
international title or national or continental or something. I don't know. Whatever, one of those titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'll pick up that one, whatever it is. So hopefully, yeah, that happens. I think they did drop a little stipulation for the I guess they're having a rematch with FTR, but Cope and Christian said if they don't win this next match against FTR, they'll like retire. I think, are they putting that out there
Yeah.
in one of the promos, or they'll quit, something like that? So
So
maybe.
either you'd imagine they're winning now, but maybe they would. I don't know. Uh,
I don't know. Now with the booking of these companies right now, I'm not sure anymore. Brock Lesnar wrestles Obafemi and just retires in the middle of the ring on a whim. So who knows?
and it seemed to actually surprise. I feel like it surprised Paul Heyman. Then I don't know. So I'm like,
Yeah.
But did he? But because it would make more. I mean, I get like you being emotional, but does it make more sense at SummerSlam? And I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. But and then they already had a video package up for him, like on next night on a Raw. I'm like, that's convenient.
Well, to be fair, I've seen WWE put together video packages very quickly for stuff, like very rare. They have a good production crew when it comes to that. I mean, because if somebody like passes away, they put tribute videos together very, very quickly. They can do that. And if you even see, if you even watch old pay-per-views, man, you get to the end of the show and they would have a highlight package of the show you just watched already ready to go. You remember that? Like they would have a highlight, and I'm just like, Jesus, who put that together? You guys are really good at what you do. So, I mean, it's not inconceivable that within a 24-hour period they would have a Brock Lesnar retirement video ready to go. That's not that.
They had like interviews of people who telling out how good he was. I guess I just found clips here and there of people talking about him.
Yeah. So, let's talk about some of the happenings around WrestleMania weekend. We had what's kind of become a weird TMZ kind of thing with CM Punk at that hotel. I'm sure you've seen the video, Richie, with the guy kind of, it seems like sort of just getting into AJ Lee and Bailey's kind of personal space.
Like I think they were Bailey and Bailey, and he was getting too close. Bailey basically was kind of like, hey man, they're not now going to go away, and he kept getting too close, and CM Punk, just sort of got up to him, sort of mean mugged him a bit, like gave him like a icy stare and just shoved the phone from him, and just like it was like but like you people like to want it's easy to like bag Punk because he's had maybe because he's got a short temper. It's like but like if I was in that situation and then, especially if it's like, my wife or whatever, and someone's like, I'd probably do the same thing. Like you've been told to go away, you didn't.
Or even just a male wrestler protecting his fellow female colleagues, like you would step up as a guy, some guy creeping on your female coworkers, essentially, you feel like a protective kind of thing. And and then there was another like angle that came out that didn't make the guy look any better, that the dude was like just following these women, even if they repeatedly said like, hey, can you just give us some space, like leave us alone, and he just would not. So and apparently the guy he's like, oh, I won't sue if I get an apology from CM Punk. And I'm like, apologize for what? For standing up and telling you to piss off and quit being a stalker?
You're lucky he didn't punch you in the face.
You're lucky he didn't like you did to Jungle, choke a guy or two, like he did, to Jack Perry.
You're lucky. But the problem is, and this is probably, like I think that that weekend highlighted the fact that they need to hire more like better security, because that
Right.
wasn't the only issue there. There
Yeah.
was multiple issues apparently. Like there was a clip where I think someone was following Royce Keys, and then there's like,
Yeah.
dude, you got, and Royce Keys just kind of calmly said, "Look, this is, like, this is my time. I appreciate you, but please don't follow me." There was uh, there was like people outside of, like, apparently there were people outside of, like, Drew McIntyre's like hotel room at like early in the morning. It's like you had to say something. There were just things like that. There was I think Danhausen said something out of character. Had to be out of character on the Twitter, and was like, yeah, and yeah, like what had to be like, dude, yeah, like don't, stop being like, you know, stop being disrespectful. So yeah,
Vito, big Vito at the like one of those WrestleCons, gotten into like like kind of a like wrestling match almost with a fan, like wrestling around. That
yeah,
was a weird clip where he was just like almost like in a lockup with the guy, like dancing
yeah.
around. Yeah, that was an odd clip.
X Pac said he almost got into a scuffle with some dude. I'm just like, my God.
Who was the female wrestler that said some guy like grabbed her ass like at one of like during a photo or something, and then she got a video of him just being like them kicking him out and stuff like that for
Uh,
just being weird. I don't forget who it was, but yeah, the bottom line is quit being weirdos, people. Wrestling fans, you're making us look bad. Like stop.
yeah,
Like don't follow people to their hotel rooms. Like don't stalk them incessantly. Like to me, it's one of those things. Like if I see somebody, like I'll just be like, hey man, big fan, and just move on or something. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Or high five, and move on with your life. It's just like don't like.
yeah,
But yeah, if you're waiting at airports and you're waiting outside of hotel lobbies and you're stalking them while they're getting coffee, like that's just
yeah.
weird, dude. Like you're
Then
being yeah
you can't expect them to be friendly. They've just come,
yeah
especially if they've come off a flight. They come off a long flight, or maybe potentially long flight, depending where they're going. And then
yeah
it's like, the last thing they want to do is talk to people to community. They're not in fan interacting mode. They want to go to their hotel, put their stuff away, probably rest for a bit, and then
yeah, rest, eat, whatever, just have some personal time to themselves before they have to like go into media mode, or like
yeah,
public relations mode. And it's like
yeah,
sometimes they just want to like unwind like you and I would want to do after a trip or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
it's the same
yeah,
same thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's like, it's just, it's great. And so and it's probably a good point too. I think there was some wrestlers sort of attributing it to as well, as like, because TKO raises the prices, that they might, well, TKO probably pricing people out of actual autograph signings, so people feel like, oh, in order for me to actually get close to the wrestlers, whatever. So yeah, it's like maybe, you know also,
Mhm.
make to argue to make things cheaper so people can go to autograph signings. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just, and yeah, buff up security, make it autograph signs cheaper. But yeah, and just don't don't be weird. That the wrestlers are they might be famous and special celebrities, but they're human beings and they got lives. So just and admire in the ring, go to autograph signing. But yeah, and if you happen to be staying at the same hotel, whatever, just say hello. If you happen to randomly run into them at dinner, you can say hello, but don't crowd their space.
Yeah, don't crowd their space. Ask for 15 pictures and 15 autographs. Just like, if anytime I've ever, bumped into people like that, it's just like, hey man, how's it going? Big fan, So I hope you're having a good day, sort of thing. And then like they're totally fine with that sort of stuff, like most of the time,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, I remember CM Punk talked about one time he was like at he was with AJ at like a Subway or something, or some sub shop or something, like a local sub, and just the person behind the counter like recognized him, but just went like, "Hey, aren't you CM Punk?" And he went, "Yeah," and she just went, "High five," and they just like high five, you know what I mean? And he was like, it was one of the best things things I've ever had. They were just like totally happy with just like a high five and a
yeah,
smile,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and that's something they can tell their friends the rest of their lives.
I guess too, with the advent of social media, people have to like
Yeah. I know I met this person, and I know how we interacted. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, if I told you, Richie, that I went to a concert last night, I don't have to record the entire concert. You believe that I went to a concert. Like I can just tell you about it. Like these people who also like record concerts, I think are weird when you're at the show. Just enjoy the music. Just be in the moment, have fun. That's what I'm there for.
Watch it back because it's gonna sound.
No, I've never done that and watched it back ever, or posted it. Like the most I'll do at a show like that is when I get there, if they have a cool like setup with like some banners or something, I'll take a picture real quick before they play of like the setup, and then maybe a quick picture or two of them like on stage playing. But like I don't sit there and record the songs. I'd rather just experience the music while it's happening. It's just weird.
Yeah. Just like I don't know. That's I don't know. I don't understand. Like like I went to the Wu-Tang Clan the other day. I took like I think one photo of Rizzo when he came out and said, go.
Yeah, no, a couple of pictures of them on stage, like totally understandable. Yeah, like just like, oh shit, like there's all the guys together doing their thing, and then just sing along while they're saying Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. You know what I mean? Like get in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, we do entrances at these WrestleManias, and everybody immediately whips their phone out to watch it and record it. And I'm just like, how about just be in the moment of the entrance and have fun? And if you want to watch it back, I'm sure 80,000 people on YouTube recorded it. You can go watch it later. So just one of those. Anyways, that's a long tangent, but a few other things. WrestleMania weekend. I watched one full show all the way through. I know JPO, if he was here, he'd tell us about some of the ones he watched. I watched a little bit of one of the JCW shows with him a little bit. Not a whole lot to report on there.
I watched one of the JCW shows with him too.
Just a lot of Russo. A lot of Russo silliness and Russo and Vito and weird stuff going on in that show. So. Yeah, cocaine. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I did watch the full House of Glory show. That was a really good show. Their Culture Clash show. Mainly because I'm a fan of JD from New York, who does commentary for that show. I know not everybody loves him, but I do. It's kind of one like he's associated with that promotion. But the show is actually just legitimately really good. Charlie, the former Dakota Kai, had a good match with Shotzi. Really solid women's match. The Bandito and Amazing Red had an awesome match. Definitely the highlight of the show. They threw down, had a great match. Maybe the best 21 plex I've ever seen. Legitimately, Richie. He did a thing where like he teased the 21 plex near the end of the match and then like went to do it, and Red somehow like flipped over and went on the other side and hit him with a code Red out of the 21 plex. That was cool. And that was awesome. And then eventually he got him down where that whole thing where he was like laying near the ropes, and Bandito did the deadlift 21 plex. Dude, Red got like 10 feet in the air for it. It was ridiculous. Like he damn near like lost him doing the German. Like Red got so high, but it was an awesome 21 plex. So and hit him with it was great.
He's probably like 40 now.
He's like 42 now. Yeah, but he's in great shape. He's the head trainer at the House of Glory like wrestling school, so he's still in really good shape. And he pretty much only works the occasional House of Glory show, but he always works really good talent. So he had a great match with Bandito. That was a lot of fun. Brody King and Zilla Fatu had a fun kind of big, mean, scary guy, meaty match. While it lasted, because Lance Anoa'i got involved for like a DQ. But yeah, they smashed each other around for a few minutes. It was pretty fun. And then the Hardy Boys and the Good Brothers, had some tag team stuff in the main event. So, but pretty good show overall. And Michael Oku challenged Charles Mason for the heavyweight title. They had a good match as well. So, that was a good show overall. So I got to see that. So maybe worth going out of your way to see. I know I didn't see much of the clusterfuck. I did see the clip where Sean Ross Sapp and Brian Alvarez had
that was kind of fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Shotzi Blackheart won. I know that much.
Shotzi
won the thing. I didn't go back and watch all the clusterfuck, but I know. Apparently, Brody Lee Jr. and Joe Janela had a really, really good match, and Brody Lee Jr. is really good. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I saw like a highlight package of that match. I didn't see the entire one, but I saw some highlights of it, and yeah, it looked pretty. Maybe he'll be the next Nick Wayne. You never know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, yeah, you never know. I watched some of the GCW show Stranglemania. That's
Mm,
that
yeah.
was interesting. It had Vampiro's last match, which is
Yeah.
a triple threat with Vito and PCO. Very so like if you combine the ages, it's like 150. But and yeah, it was a short match, but it was all right. It was yeah, but yeah, you had like people from like other promotions. Yeah, like you know, Dolph Ziggler's on the show. Nyla Rose was on the show. She's still on AEW.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
still really good. Yeah, RVD showed up. He had a match. Matt Riddle was there. Katie Forbes, RVD's wife, was a special ref for one of the matches. So yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun if you know what you're going to expect, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see much of the other show. I did see again highlights of Sandman's match, the Invisible Man match. I saw some highlights of that
Yeah,
with the McFoley appearance as well, of him doing
yeah,
like a double arm DDT and a Socko claw to the Invisible Man.
yeah,
So I saw a little bit of that. Didn't see like the whole thing, but again, I saw some highlights here and there. So yeah, I saw whatever highlights I could. I didn't watch every show, but I saw a few
yeah,
things and I kind of bouncing
yeah,
around. So that was fun.
yeah. But solid. I'm sad that probably not going to get as many shows next year because they insist on going to Saudi, which they also announced today that the United Champions will be in Saudi. There's a war still going on, but still,
It's like, well, that, and you just know there's other countries out there, like again, be excited for a different, European country or Asian country or something, or South American country I'm sure they'd be happy to to do a show somewhere.
yeah,
They'll have a lively crowd, that would pay the money and be loud. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah. Like I don't know. It just even if you don't go, like if they didn't go to, let's say sometimes went in America, but you went to a place where a lot of people would flock to for like a tourist thing. Like if it's somewhere in the UK, a lot of countries in the UK are close together, right? So
yeah.
you could get a lot of people, and then people in America would travel, but then some people in America would travel. But like Saudi, not gonna go. No one's fucking. People are. No one's gonna go there.
No.
So I'm thinking like what you were thinking before is like maybe some indie pressure will just be like, hey, let's do our own,
Well, I did see some things where people are in Tony Khan's ear to possibly like run some kind of big show some weekend, like almost like around WrestleMania weekend, like book some show over here in the States, like in a major metropolitan area, even if it's just like Chicago or New York or whatever, Atlanta, Orlando, whatever it is, some place easily to get to, and run like have the centerpiece be like an AEW super show, but then have all the other indie companies like come together and share talent and do the similar thing to WrestleMania weekend where they all run shows like Thursday through Saturday or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and do other things. And then, Tony seems to be okay with his people also like working indie shows, as we kind of saw throughout the weekend, Jet Speed and Brody and Bandito and Bandito, some of those guys like working, different events. He seems to not really have a problem with that. So, yeah, I mean, maybe if like, yeah, they can organize something like that, stateside, I think that would be really beneficial for the wrestling community. And then if everybody could get on the same page and like agree on something like at least 6 months in advance so people can book venues and whatnot, and maybe have Tony kind of spearhead it, call it Indie Palooza. I don't know, call it, the wrestling celebration, whatever you want to call it, like
yeah,
something. And yeah, have it, end with an AEW show, or something, you know what I mean? Like a big, whatever, at an arena, but like have, be in some area where everybody can kind of come to the same area and work. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Be a good idea.
yeah. Who might wake up from like thinking, oh man, maybe my decision was stupid if they do that. Was it different
Carlos
TNA?
Silva.
Carlos Silva, he'd be like, wait, I've pulled AEW talent from shows because I don't want them to,
Yeah.
um, you know, wrestle. What? And I could be a part of this. Oh shit! I should probably amend fences here.
You mean we could like maybe run like a Friday night show somewhere and like get people to come? Yeah, damn.
Yeah,
Like run like a decent sized venue, like a 3 or 4 thousand seat venue, and get people there. Damn,
yeah,
that might be a good idea. But yeah, who knows? I don't know how much in good grace it would be. But yeah, I think that would be really cool. And to me, it would feel like you remember like when they did that all in show at Madison Square Garden, with like the Bucks and Cody, those guys like
it was basically a demo reel for AEW. Yeah, for AEW.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But like they did it independent of any, major promotion or whatever. They were just like, hey, we can just prove that we like wrestling fans can come together and like support this.
Yeah,
I think they could do the same thing, but just I think anchored to like an AEW show at the end of it, I think would be the best option.
yeah,
But yeah, have the smaller promotions come together and all kind of promote each other, do a WrestleCon in the middle of it, like you've been doing, something like that. And yeah, work around, man. It would be fun, man. I think that could work, and people would support
yeah,
it, get the word out on it. That'd be great.
yeah. I definitely see that's like a good possibility of something like that happening or
Yeah,
transpiring. Yeah,
yeah. So hopefully we'll hear something about that. Yeah, and everybody can kind of rally and make something organic happen. I think it'd be great.
yeah.
Anything else you want to cover before we kind of dive into Mania and sort of the characters and wrestlers and all the news around
No,
there?
not that I can think of really. There was not really a lot of like a lot of the news sort of is tied to Mania. So
Yeah.
yeah, like so. I mean, if there's stuff I think about, I'll just bring it up when it go do the matches and stuff. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just due to Mania. So I think we just sort of get into it.
Yeah, we can get into it, and if we tangent off of one or two things off of Mania, that's fine. So, let's get into WrestleMania because we got 2 nights of stuff to talk about. So, I got my my Wikipedia pulled up here so we can do the matches in order. But yeah, I think one of the big stories coming out, we'll just kind of address it up front. Was the presentation on ESPN, or I know you watched it on, you watched it on Netflix, right? International. But even then, just the absurd amount of ad breaks or commercial breaks and breaks in between.
Yeah.
Man, it's so weird. Like, we just did, me and you, we talked about WrestleMania 17, right? And then
Yeah.
when you watch that show, how there's no like ad breaks. It's just like, okay, we have a match, but what do we do in between? I don't know. We go backstage, have an interview.
Backstage, do a video package hyping up a match.
Yeah. Have a hype video for the next match. Get a reaction from somebody from a previous match, backstage or something that's hot after a match, about something. I don't know. Yeah, do anything, just something in between. Yeah, did we go backstage one time during the show, Richie? I don't think so, right? For one interview, for one, pre-recorded, segment. We only had 2 hype videos just for the main events, right? Just for Cody's match and Punk's match, right?
The only thing they did to like as far as like filling time was that Danhausen thing, which we'll get to. Which was but you mean like so and this kind of also highlights the point. It's like, why have a guest host when they don't do fucking shit? Like John Cena
and I knew he wouldn't do anything, especially on the first night. I was just like, he literally just, what did he do? He came out, he introduced everything, and then he read the attendance, and that was it. How is that a host? Like, shouldn't the host be like backstage interacting with people, running around? I would have the host, which is why I think instead of John Cena, had you had like Danhausen running around as the host, like you could have around backstage talking to the wrestlers as they're heading to the ring or after their match, interviewing them, being like a special guest interviewer, having fun, something you could do to kill time in between matches and people wouldn't enjoy it, and make it entertaining. It could have been fun.
But even the we'll get to it. I find it funny how it's like we this night we have this many people and this night we have this many people. That means a combined number. I'm like, you're counting people twice. That doesn't mean
because I'm sure there was some different people, but I would imagine 30 or 40,000 of that are people who had tickets for both nights. So that's not you're counting the same head twice. That's kind of silly. So, and they still didn't acknowledge the fact that that's still like what 5 or 10,000 people down from the previous year because you
Yeah.
were in the exact same venue, and last year you had what, like 66,000 people or something, So yeah, you were definitely down on attendance. So hopefully that sends at least a little bit of a message. But yeah, ad mania was running wild. It was bad. I know we watched it. Yeah, we were on the Lonely Mark stream. It was me and Jacob and JPO and a few other people. But yeah, we were using the ESPN thing, and yeah, like in between matches, it was just like, here's a 4-minute ad block, and they'd have a countdown. It's just like, oh my god, like why am I watching commercials on WrestleMania? This is silly. Yeah, we should be doing backstage stuff or videos or something. And yeah, even then, we went to the movie theater for night 2. Rhonda and I did, and yeah, they must have been showing the Netflix stream because yeah, they just did the thing where they had like the PowerPoint presentation of just the pictures, the "We'll be right back" thing or whatever, and maybe an ad or two. But yeah, it was just odd. Like it just interrupted the flow of everything.
There was one ad that was so TKO, but it was so funny. It was like you could collect these figures: Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roddy Piper, Jake Roberts, and Jelly Roll. What?
Jelly Roll? Yeah, no, they did do that as well. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that in the theater. Yeah, they were showing clips of the Hogan documentary, like full clips.
I get it. There's a documentary coming out. Holy shit! I get it.
But they were showing like chunks of it. Like they showed a whole chunk about like him and Andre, and then they showed like a whole other chunk of like him talking about Bash at the Beach, like again about like the NWO, and then like it's just.
Do you want me to watch this or not? You're just basically you're gonna show the whole documentary.
The whole thing. Yeah. So yeah, it was just weird, and yeah, it's just too much. It interrupted the flow. Yeah. What annoyed me more was the fact that there was not one backstage interview. There was no hype videos. I remember even just last year. Say what you will about watching it on Peacock or whatever, but at least Peacock, what you would get in between the matches was like a hype video for the next match, which I was fine with. Show me a music video, catch up the people, especially for WrestleMania, Richie. You might get people that are tuning in that maybe don't follow it all year round. Maybe they just watch the big shows.
Catch up people on the feud, but people just sort of come out. Okay.
Yeah, they might not know who a certain character is or what they're up to. Yeah, what their gimmick is going into it. Like catch people up on stuff. Yeah, I mean, I know the main events had that, but like do it for the other matches too. You could do one for every single match if you had to. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's no television, and they don't have to be as long as the main event ones, but you could do they used to do for like those older shows like a minute. A minute hype video, just like recapping the last 3 weeks of TV. No big deal.
You tell me you couldn't do one for like Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. They've been breaking up for ages. And
that's what I mean. Yeah, you could do a whole like saga of the Judgment Day. Yeah, and all the subtle things. Yeah, they've been going back and forth, and flash pictures of the demon. Like the last couple of times, and then when you get to him turning the demon, show highlights of the demon and NXT, and the other times he's been there. Like make the audience care about why should we care about this guy turning into a demon? Like there's a reason for that. Yeah. There's no. We just throw him out there. It's just weird. So, but anyway, so we're wanted to rant about that up straight up, so we can just kind of get in the interview. But yes, the ad mania was running wild, and it's really annoying and bad. So, we had our first match of night 1. We had the Usos and LA Knight defeating the Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and I Show Speed making his official debut. He wasn't bad. He was all right for what he was.
He's all right. Yeah, he did his job well. I guess, and this is definitely the story of night 1, not so much night 2, because I think whereas I don't know why given all the time you could have had with like. Not with ads and stuff. I don't know why you had matches cut short. This match was short.
The first night especially just felt like they were speeding through these matches. Like even while you're watching, you're just like, wait, holy shit. They're trying to do a 15-minute match in 7 minutes. Like what the hell is going on here? Yeah, because I'll go it real quick. But yeah, like to your point, this opening match was 7 minutes. The women's Fatal 4-Way was 8.5 minutes. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, just a little over 8 minutes. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vicker, 7 minutes. Dude.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. For a women's title match. Are you kidding me? And then, the other matches got a little time. Gunther and Seth Rollins got 17 minutes. That's fine. Fatu and Drew had 14, so a little bit better. But yeah, like you have a 3.5-hour show. I talked about, I actually did the math, and I don't remember exactly what it came out to, Richie, but I looked at WrestleMania 17, the one we reviewed, right? There was like 11 matches on that show, right? And so they had more matches, less time realistically, because it was like a 3-hour show or a little over 3 hours, right? And they crammed all these matches in, but they still had like, I think it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes of wrestling or something like that when you add it all up, because Rock and Stone Cold went like 27 or 28 minutes. Undertaker and Triple H went like 18 minutes. Kurt and Chris Benoit went like 15 minutes. TLC went like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like matches were getting time. You know, there was a few short matches, but like the important matches got time, right? At least. You know, like even Jericho and Regal had like 10 minutes at the beginning, you know, or something like that. So yeah, you watch this show and you're like, oh my god, you guys are going 100 miles an hour. What is going on here? Why are we speeding through this? This is ridiculous.
Reason. And so the first match, which is fine, but my kind of issue with the match is like, I guess I Show Speed sort of loses it for them and he gets pinned. But my issue is like the last image you see is like basically another YouTuber Brooks clashing another YouTuber. Well, you know, I know he's a wrestler now, but and so like LA Knight and the Usos and Austin Theory, they become back the long life, you know, trained wrestlers background
because we got to make viral moments, Richie, for the internet, because I Show Speed has whatever 100 million subscribers, and Logan Paul across all of his platforms has 100 million subscribers or whatever. So yeah, we got to make and sure enough, I think the next day I saw I didn't watch the clip specifically, but I saw it like ran across my feed because it was wrestling related. But yeah, I Show Speed on his own channel had the clip of him doing the frog splash or whatever, you know what I mean? And hey, here's my day at WrestleMania or whatever he had, all the clips and stuff. So yeah, it's all about the viral moments and the celebrities, man. This is what
I could do it, do it like decent frog splash or whatever. But yeah, I was just like I did like on Raw, Logan Paul came out and he goes, I'm sick of like YouTubers and all that coming out and thinking they can do what we do. I'm like, that's a good line.
You mean, yeah, no, I mean that's a good heel line because you're like, you mean like you? Yeah, of course. So, but I mean, yeah, to be fair, Logan's turned into a really good wrestler and a good heel. So yeah, I don't mind that as much. He's put in the work. And yeah, to be fair, he did train at the Performance Center for what, like 2 months or something. Like he put in the work for it. And then yeah, he hit the frog splash perfectly dead center on him. So give him credit. Like he nailed it. For what it was. So
yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't mind like if there was just like 1 or 2 celebrities, that's cool. And the celebrities the celebrities are used for the most part clearly like wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Jelly Roll. He clearly has a passion for wrestling. He clearly puts work in. I like I like Show Speed here. He clearly likes it. Even Little Yachty in a small point, he's clearly having fun. Clearly like wrestling. It's not a Travis Scott situation. But yeah,
no, because he's not the center of attention. He was like a hype man for Trick, and then he briefly gets involved in the match. He like shoved Sammy, right? That was pretty much it, right? Or hung him up on the ropes or whatever, and that was it. You know what I mean? Like he's not, the center of attention. You know what I mean? The match is still focused on the wrestlers. I'm fine with that.
But they seem to get it. But yeah, it's like it shouldn't be sole focus. But we'll get to it. I think Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll ended up recognize that, and that's probably why it factored into the match a bit later on. So
we'll get there. So our second match on the free portion of WrestleMania on ESPN was Jacob Fatu defeating Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match that totally felt unsanctioned. Richie, totally.
I liked the match, but why did it need to be like there were like street fights on the show that were. Like I would argue that the street fight between like Finn and Dominic was, had a bit more gnarly moments in this match.
I mean, this felt like every other just like SmackDown no DQ like plunder match. You know what I mean? Like it just like what was unsanctioned about this? They used a chair a couple of times and a belt but I mean he used the wrench like one time. They didn't even do it that much with it, and then broke like 2 tables. Like it was nothing we haven't seen in like every other street fight in WWE. Yeah, I mean, the unsanctioned matches we've had, in the past. I mean, even something like a Shawn Michaels and Triple H, which wasn't like the most brutal thing you've ever seen, but they played it up like an unsanctioned thing because Triple H was like trying to paralyze him essentially in the match.
And
But
with Shawn
really
Michaels' first full
match
match.
back. Right, yeah. So it was like it had this kind of storyline behind it. It had this storytelling, yeah, this grudge match feel. We've seen stuff in AEW that's kind of similar where they're like, they're dragging each other on glass and like using barbed wire and like beds of nails and shit. Like it feels unsanctioned, or like like the swerve and hangman stuff. Where they're trying to kill each other in there. That feels unsanctioned. Not this.
This felt like a main event for SmackDown.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I mean, and again, not that it was bad. It was fun. It was a fun 15 minutes. They did some good spots. Jacob looked good. Crowd was into him. He hit his stuff. I mean, it was totally fine, like in a vacuum. But yeah, it could have just been like a no DQ match, and I would have bought it just fine. It wasn't unsanctioned. That was silly. So
Yeah. So it was fine. It was I'm glad that they've that they capitalized on the momentum later on Raw. It was like okay, because sometimes we used to like people sometimes in Vince's era you get used to like wrestlers coming out demanding title shot. I'm like, didn't you just lose at a pay per view? Didn't that? But like at least he won at pay per view.
No, I say at least he won and he beat a guy that was just champion and Drew. So like that's a big person to beat on WrestleMania, and he has a history with Roman that never got settled. So that at least makes sense. And he's like, and even his motivation, just again talking about what you said, like kind of the follow up of this character. Him confronting Roman and being like, no, like I need what you got. I haven't reached that level yet. Like I want like cars and a house for my family and better food and like I want what I need. I want to be rich essentially. I'm tired of being poor. So it makes sense. Like you believe it, like the way he cuts the promos too, like you believe it. So no, it should be a fun match. Yeah, and I'm glad that they're we'll talk about that 2 weeks from now when we do our predictions. I don't see him like winning the title, unfortunately. But
at this point I do see him maybe being a world champion at some point down maybe down the road, but like not yet. I think Roman's not gonna have a month run.
No, Roman tends to have longer runs, for sure, for at least a little while. But yeah, I'm glad they're giving him that opportunity. I didn't really see it coming. When he came out, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. You know what? I'm fine with it. Well, because at least it's kind of fresh because we saw some interactions with them, a couple of years back with the Bloodline stuff, but like we haven't really had that one-on-one yet. So like I'm fine with that. It's fresh. It's new. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that. But yeah, so he looked good there. Moving along, yes, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles. The Irresistible Forces, Charlotte Flair and Alexa, Bayley and Lyra, and then yes, the Bellas come out. Nikki Bella's in the walking boot, as we kind of speculated. Says she was not ready. She tried to get ready and couldn't, but she had a replacement, and Paige made her return to the WWE after a very long. And she definitely didn't do anything in between. Richie, she's just been gone since 2018.
She didn't go to any other promotion. No.
None whatsoever. She didn't make any kind of videos that went viral online or anything like that. No, she just totally has not done anything in the meantime at all.
No, she was fine. I just a shout out quickly, by the way. I liked the Nia Jax Lash Legends Demolition.
The demolition gear looked good. With the mask and stuff, that was cool.
Yeah, that was good.
That was cool. I liked what was it? The competing like. I actually liked Charlotte and Alexa doing like the moth, and then Charlotte doing the butterfly, like the kind of dichotomy there. I thought that was kind of cool.
Alexa had like a Bray Wyatt homage too on the back of it.
Yeah. So I mean, I like some of the outfits and whatnot on the shows. They were all right. But yeah, Paige came back. Didn't do much in this match. She kind of hung out on the apron for most of it. But she got a good pop when she came back. She looked good for the few minutes she jumped in there. But again, like 8:33, really fast. We're doing a million spots a minute, for what it is. But yeah, Bree and Paige, yeah, pick up the win here. And yes, and left us all wondering, does Richie's pick of the Bellas count, given the fact that it wasn't technically the Bellas in there wrestling? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, this is. I'm like, I don't. This is bullshit. I'm like, I don't know. But it's Team Bella's one, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm confused as well. They're like, oh, Paige and Brie, the Bellas are really good friends. I'm like, when was that established? Apparently on Total Divas, but I'm not watching shit.
Yeah. What is that? I'm pretty convinced Total Divas is watched by like women who aren't wrestling fans. They just watched it because it was a reality show. Like they don't really give a shit what the reality show is about or what they do in real life. They just want the reality show.
Like one of my carers knows who like the Bellas are, knows who Paige there is, but doesn't watch wrestling. So yeah, like yeah. But I read Soraya's book. I don't remember like many Bella twins mentions. So I don't know. But they're champions is where I did feel bad for I mean, people were making out. I feel like people were sort of making Mountain and Molehill where apparently like Bailey stormed off and just like, oh, she must be legit pissed. I'm like, oh, she's just a character selling the fact she lost a match.
I think we're gonna get a follow up to that. Like we didn't get any follow up directly on Raw. I think they might save that for SmackDown. To have Paige and Bell on there. But yeah, I could totally see them running it back. Maybe not at Backlash because Backlash is kind of stacked right now. But yeah, running back like Bailey and Lyra facing Bree and Paige, like just in like a one-on-one tag match, with them being like, we didn't sign up for this Paige shit, we were supposed to get the Bellas, same thing with your prediction, just being like, whatever, we didn't see that, and then we got screwed over again. We didn't get whatever, they could figure that out, and so I'd imagine they will show up on SmackDown because we didn't see them on Raw, so we'll probably see Paige on there in the follow-up. So we'll see where they go from here. I don't know how long she's gonna stick around or how much she's going to be wrestling or if she's going to be wrestling on a regular basis. We'll see.
Yeah. It was weird that it was like, it wasn't a follow-up on Raw, but they're like, hey, Paige is back. She's in the crowd.
That's what I mean. Like, there wasn't a single even reference to her. That was odd because, like, this seems like a big return. Or at least, have her do a quick interview in front of the crowd or something, just being like, hey, I'm back and I have a title around my shoulder, something, like I came back at WrestleMania for anybody who missed it. Like, go watch it. At least an acknowledgement and be like, I'll talk more about it on SmackDown or something. Promote the next show. Hey, I'm going to be on SmackDown. Watch me if you want to, hear me talk more about what I've been up to. Something.
Yeah, I think Paige, the Bellas, and AJ like caused a remark say backstage, and they did the 4 thing.
Yeah,
like the original 4 horse, and then Bailey got up there and was like, oh, I've never heard anyone call you that ever. And I think she's just being funny because Bailey's funny, but like I can and maybe they're trying to set up it's their idea of trying. Sometimes on social media, wrestlers will try to set up storylines to kind of give creative ideas,
something going.
But also it's just like, I don't know. You can make it. I can't really make an argument for Bellas, but you can make an argument for like Paige and like Emma were having great matches like on NXT when before that when that revolution was starting. If it wasn't for AJ calling Stephanie out in a bullshit, it might not happen. So like you could make an argument that they started it. So I don't know. I don't think it's that a lot of people. I don't know. I thought it was people like, oh, it's disrespectful. I'm like, nah, they're wrestlers in character. Shut up.
No, it's the same shit when you see like Io Sky being like, oh, Nikki Bella, you were such an inspiration to me. Yeah, that's a bunch of horseshit. That's your character talking. Io Sky doesn't give a shit about Nikki Bella. She's not watching Nikki Bella. That's ridiculous.
Yes, an inspiration for her would be like someone from Japan.
Bold Nakano, something like
Nakano.
That. Manami Toyota or something like
Toyota or something.
No, that would be her inspiration, not Nikki Bella. I'm sorry. Anyways, but sticking with the women, the women's IC title, Becky Lynch regains her title over AJ Lee, and again another match that was like good, Richie, but goddamn, it was 8 minutes, and it felt like again they were cramming 15 minutes of spots into an 8 minute match. I mean, they were like running nonstop in this match, just spot after spot after spot,
Yeah.
just doing all kinds of stuff. And it just felt like it was just, oh my God, we got our time cut. We got to go fast and just get this done and get out of there.
Like, it felt, I couldn't tell whether the ending was a botch or not, because it was like she had her in the Black Widow, and then all of a sudden I was like, I thought maybe she was meant to, like, it's almost like AJ slipped off, but like she was meant to grab, like she grabbed the hair, but it was like almost like an afterthought. Like it was like you could hear the crowd even boo, but it was just like I don't know. It looked a bit wonky, but I didn't think it came off like the way they wanted to. But I think she was meant to just like maybe rake her eyes or grab her hair to get her off like a heel way, and then run into the buckle and then do because it's like. Like I feel like given the length of the feud, because they've been feuding since she came back, I feel like that deserves at least is it like maybe 5 more minutes something like that.
At least 5 more minutes, and plus they were trying to still tease in the Jessica Carr stuff that they've been teasing in, for some of their other matches too, like the ref stuff.
That's the thing that makes sense to me, because I could argue that there should be a DQ in that match, because Becky pulls Jessica Carr in front of AJ. She goes and then hits the hits the rock bottom thing. And it's been like, shouldn't you DQ Becky? Like she pulled you in front of.
Well, that's less egregious than CM Punk being hung upside down on the outside of the ring and Roman full on picking up the stairs and hitting him in the face and not being a DQ. We'll talk about that on night 2, where I literally in the theater went, disqualification? Is that not him picking up a foreign object and slamming it right into the dude's head? Shouldn't that be a DQ? Okay.
No, but I don't know. But in this one, I'm like, she used you as an object. Like you could have taken. She didn't really take a ref bump. Like you could have taken a ref bump, and you're like, oh, disqualification. Like, well, how's that not a disqualification?
That one wasn't as bad as when we get to Punk and Roman. I have a big problem with that one as a referee. So we'll get there. But I mean, again, not a bad match. Still a good match, for what it was. But just rushed. Again, that's the theme of night 1. A match that finally got some time. Gunther and Seth Rollins. 17 minutes. Yeah, those matches were great. And we all thought it was. 2 great workers. They beat the hell out of each other in this match. They were throwing each other all over the place. We're doing curb stomps on the table. We're slamming each other into the corners of announce tables and aprons and buckle bombs and just all kinds of stuff. Chops back and forth. They beat the shit out of each other. It was fun. We knew kind of how that was going to go down if they gave him some time. And then as expected, Braun Breaker made his return, as we all knew he was cleared, so we figured he would factor into this one. But twice that dude sprinted his ass down to the ring, and the first time sprinted down the rampway, speared him on the outside, kind of into the barricade, and then and Gunther able to kind of choke him out after that. So
the second time he kind of like was sprinting down there, and then he speared him, but kind of just got just sort of got his legs. It didn't look like a pack.
Because to be fair, if he had hit him straight on as fast as he was running, man, he would have goddamn killed the guy. He would have hit him, and Seth would have hit his head on the mat, and he'd be a concussion protocol right now. He was running so damn fast. Like that one angle where they had the drone shot of him running down the ramp, I was like, oh my god, that guy's fast. Like that dude. If that dude went to the NFL Combine, if you know what the NFL Combine is, where they do like the 40-yard dashes and shit like that, and I'm fairly convinced he would outsprint everybody at the damn Combine. That dude is fast. That dude is ridiculous. Charles Robinson, eat your heart out running down the ramp, because Braun Breaker could run up and down that ramp 3 times before you get down that ramp. I'm pretty convinced. It was a cool visual, so it looked good. He's back. So obviously they're setting up for, they're finally getting back to, Seth and Braun, doing their thing. So, I figured that would factor into that. Gunther, wins and still stay strong here. Good match. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Definitely, probably the match of night 1 for sure.
And then Gunther has a favor, but I don't know I'm I'm not 100% sure what the favor is now.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us thought it would be okay, he'll win, and then maybe Brock will go away for a while, like not necessarily retire, but he'll just be like off TV for a while, and then he'll be like, "Hey, Paul, like SummerSlam's coming up in Minneapolis. I want to face Brock in Minnesota and retire his ass. He's been around here too damn long, or whatever. Yeah, get coax Paul to kind of get his guy back in the ring, but yeah, if this Brock thing is legit, we got to pivot away from that and do something else. So I don't know what we do.
There wasn't
What do we
much
do now?
follow-up on that either. On Raw, there was like Gunther had an interview and it was interrupted by LA Knight. Oh, okay, we're going back to that again.
So in the meantime, we're gonna have just a Gunther LA Knight match. In the meantime, okay, all right, I guess. So Gunther will have somebody to beat in the meantime while we figure out what to do with this favor. I guess to buy some time. So there wasn't much of a follow up there. So hey, at least he's not jumping into the title picture like immediately. Like I think he will set his eyes on Roman eventually, at some point. Because he's gonna want his title back, obviously. And I think that could be interesting. Where they go from there. And again, another fresh match with Roman and Gunther. So say what you will about the title reign, we'll talk about it, but there's at least some kind of fresh, stuff on the horizon.
And I don't get the sense that Roman's gonna have like a 3-year, whatever what was last.
No, I think it'll be like maybe it might be like a 6-month thing or something, but it's not going to be. He's not going to have another 1,300-day reign or whatever. It's not gonna be like that. He's not going to hold it the whole time. So we had our technically a semi-main event, but we already talked about 651 for Liv Morgan winning the women's championship over Stephanie Vicker. Just what the fuck, 7 minutes? Like what are we doing? These two women who have legitimately had like this fun build up over the last 2 or 3 weeks where Liv got the golf ball on her forehead, from getting slammed into Roxanne, and she looked fiery and like emotional, in that brawl they had, on Raw, and then they just go in there and boy, did they just have a fucking match, just a regular match. It's just weird.
Her intro looked kind of hot. She's doing I think she was supposed to it was supposed to be like a takeoff. It was a Britney Spears clip. I think it was
she was doing her recreation of her music video just live. And the trouble.
That guy's pretty lucky. Just
the guy who's definitely not just probably a homosexual, but okay,
probably. Not that
there's anything wrong with that. Just saying, he's not as into it as we might think he's into it.
But I mean the entrance is fun. I was polite about it last week because it was their debut, but that song sucks.
And you know what? It's one of those songs, Richie, where it sucks, but it's like that earworm suck, so like it's stuck in your head. But while sucking, like those bad songs that get stuck in your head, because like I swear throughout the week, randomly at work, I was just like, trouble, that's me. And I'm just like, oh god damn it. So it's one of those like a bad song that gets stuck in your ear, and you're just like, oh no, get this out of my head like immediately. So I mean, it is what it is. It's her song. She made it, and it's gonna be
Did they change Stephanie Vicker's music as well?
Dude, they killed Stephanie Vicker's music. Her music she had like a few months ago was way better. Yeah, and they killed it. They just killed it dead, and she got Def Rebelled hard. Yeah, really hard.
Because I'm like, I did notice when Street Profits came out on Raw, they had their old music. They had shit Death Rebel music as well. And you need to get back to the other music. The other Death Rebel music has no vibe whatsoever.
No, the Death Rebel Vicar music stinks. Yeah, she had better music like 6 months ago. She had more of like a hardcore, like kind of death metal-y sort of song, and it was way better. And they killed it dead. It's bad.
I'm hopeful that they might bring it back at some point. They definitely it should tell you something that like most Death Rebel songs, they bring back the old one because people they recognize, oh, this song sucks. We'll go back to this record.
Well, and it's like I was so excited when like the music Gunther had was like fine, but I didn't like
Yeah,
love it. But yeah, now that he's back to like the classic, like the orchestra music, the
yeah,
da, 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 like it just fits his character so much better. I just like that.
yeah,
It
yeah,
just works.
yeah,
And yeah, we'll talk about Punk and Roman, but I'm glad Roman's back to like his tribal chief like music, like that music, because that song rules. It's really good.
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and I'm so glad he's back to that and not like the remix version he had over the last year or so. Like that old one is just so
yeah,
much better. It's great.
yeah, yeah. So I'm glad that like Punk is kind of Teflon in that regard, and that he didn't get Death Rebels.
Yeah. I'm
That
so
would have
glad he got
been
to keep what he wanted. That's probably part of his contract too. He's like, I'm not coming out with some Def Rebel bullshit. All right, like, I'm coming out to fucking Cult of Personality, and you're gonna pay for it. Damn it, just what it is.
and AFI on some special occasions, which we'll get to.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. We'll get there.
Uh,
Yeah, we'll Yeah, your main event. Yeah, in one of the most confusing matches in the history of WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes retained his title against Randy Orton. Yeah, we touched briefly on the Pat McAfee stuff. Yeah, they're out there in the beginning before the bell even rings, and Cody lays out Pat, and Jelly Roll comes out and elbow drops him through through the announce table on a really ugly looking elbow. And yeah, they wheel him out on a stretcher. Yeah, and then we like start this match. It's boring. It's not very good.
like Michael Cole's talking about how like Randy Orton's got like a bet, like maybe tweaked his back a bit or something, and so like Cody's like working on it, but it's like, oh, Cody's showing off like this edge that they've been wanting to show off, but I'm like, yeah, okay, but like if you're looking at it, it looks like Cody's wrestling as a heel.
Dude,
And
Cody
Randy,
was wrestling as a heel. He was doing all the heel shit in the match. He was like doing heel stuff. He was like kind of playing to the crowd a little bit. Yeah, he was the finish of the match. He's like a heel. I mean, yeah, it was bizarre. Like Randy was like working from behind, like working the comeback. Yeah, off the heat. Yeah, it was just fucking weird. And yeah, and even the finish of the match, it's just bizarre. Yeah, because they're out there. Yeah. Pat comes back out in a ref shirt and a neck brace.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the only cool part of the match is when Randy goes for a cutter, and then Cody goes for a cutter. Randy catches him in midair, which looks cool, hit with the RKO, and then they go for the pin, but there's no ref. But then then Pat comes down, flips it around, counts, but he counts slow. Like, why?
Yeah, but he counts a fair count, which I hate. Yeah, when heel refs don't
and don't even acknowledge a kick out. Just go.
Yeah, just hit it anyways and say I counted 3. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, you lose. Yeah, I mean it's just weird. He counts fair, and then Randy RKO's him, and lays him out, and then Cody just grabs him and
Picks up the bones.
And then just hits the fucking it hits the it hits the crossroads and just wins. Yeah, it's just but then after the match, like a total fucking heel again. Yeah, Randy lays him out with the title and then punt kicks him in the face. Yeah.
And then, apparently, this is where I was. Apparently, Pat McAfee actually opted to be taken out of the storyline because of the the backlash from the thing. Because obviously they're clearly setting up like a tag match between like Cody and Jeff versus Randy and Pat. Which I like them. Julie Roll and Pat McAfee individually. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. That's not backlash, man.
No. This backlash main event they're setting up of either, if they did end up doing Cody and Randy here, run it back just 1-on-1, that's fine. But also like Roman and Jacob sounds way better. Seth and Braun sounds way better. I don't want that tag match at all. At all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So like they're having, and then at least like when Randy Orton did hit the punt, at least when he hit the punt, he got some cheers, but he's got some boos because obviously the heel face dynamic was like just so like bizarre during the match. Like obviously like Randy was getting cheers mostly, but like if you were just coming in not knowing the dynamic, you're like, yeah, of course getting cheers. He's like wrestling as a baby face. He's done the fiery
Yeah,
baby.
well, they were doing the boo yay spot, and Cody was getting the boos, and Randy was getting the yays when they were doing the boo yay like back and forth. Like they completely like were against Cody and pro Randy, except for like at the end when he punted him, and then it was boos again. Like it was weird. The whole match was just odd. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
Yeah. It was very similar to his match last year.
Yeah. I feel bad for Cody because he's had two like kind of stinky main events in a row. Yeah, due to
of a guy who's just recently turned heel, but like they're not ready to boo him as a heel, and then so they're gonna it's like
and also piss poor like celebrity interference as well. Last year with Travis Scott and this year with Pat McAfee. Yeah, just not good. So I feel kind of bad for Cody because he probably just wanted to work a straight match with Randy and just let him cook. But that didn't happen. So not a great night. One had some highlights, but not. Gunther and Seth was obviously the strongest match of the show. Very, very good. I think night two kind of blows it out of the water.
Night two is great. Night one is
night one was not good. Yeah. And as far as night two, we opened with two of the best matches on the show, arguably, on the ESPN production side of things. We got right to it. Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. It only went 446.
But it shouldn't go that much. That's fine.
My only thing was I wanted maybe just 2 or 3 more minutes of like maybe some brawling on the outside or a little more chaos a little bit, just throw each other around just a tad more. That's all. Just a very minor thing. Like I'm not saying I wanted to go like 15 minutes. I'm saying like 2 minutes on the outside, maybe, throw each other around a little bit more, into the barricades, just a toss here, toss there kind of a thing. So, but that's all. But it was too big. Big, mean, scary guys. Brock got a little bit of an advantage after, run into the post. And then, he suplexes him a couple of times. Eventually hits an F5. But Oba, he didn't like no sell it, but he kind of like undersold it, if I had to, pick a word for it or something. Like it was like he was stunned, but he wasn't out. He makes his, way back to his knees. Then when Brock eventually turns around, he's, Oba, doing his thing, and just straight up choke slammed him, hit the one fall from grace, the power bomb, and just pinned him, off of one. So it was pretty, not like shocking, but like in a good way, like shocking, like oh my god, holy shit, he just beat him, with like
Oba is so over. He is
so fucking over. He is massively.
I'm going to make a prediction, like at SummerSlam, it's going to be Roman and Oba, and I think Oba's going to beat him.
I think he actually might win, and if he even wins that one in 5 or 6 minutes, I wouldn't even be mad about it, honestly. That dude, the march is over, the music's over. Even the way he like on Raw just came out and said like the ruler is here now or something like that. I mean like the ruler has arrived or whatever. Like that's all he needed to say. Like he's like this is. It's very much like this is my yard now, kind of a thing. Like, I'm the man.
So, and what going to push him like Lesnar? Well, Lesnar won his first title at SummerSlam, and pretty much it was changing the guard. I just think that it's a perfect time to have him as a champion beat Roman pretty decisively at SummerSlam. I think that's a perfect main event. They even tried to like when Roman was doing his like a speech on like the post show, people were chanting over, and he acknowledged it. He's just like, hey man, I'm here. Also, if you wanna wrestle it, around the summer, we'll do it. So
he was like, something like, oh bro, I've been where you've been. You're having a nice little run or whatever, but I've been doing this for forever, whatever. But if you think you can handle me, you let me know, sort of thing, like that sort of So I think they're planting seeds. I mean, Roman's going to work some other people in the meantime, but eventually Oba's going to be. Let's just say he's going to be like looming over the horizon. You know what I mean? He's going to be, looking in on it very intently. I think they could definitely be going that way for sure. So, we'll see what happens there. Fun, great way. And of course, the post-match stuff. Brock loses. He's kind of sitting in the ring, and yeah, as soon as he like started unstrapping the MMA gloves, I was like, oh shit, is he like done? I was like,
Oh,
oh wow. I was like, oh, he's doing the retirement thing. Oh, here comes the boots. Oh shit. And then yeah, like he threw up even like a quick X thing, like sort of maybe like an indication even to the people in the back of just like, no, I'm just done now. I'm Brock. I can do whatever I want. If
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
be done, I can just be done. And yeah, because it seemed like Paul was like he gets emotional sometimes, but he was like overly emotional. Like maybe even yeah, he didn't even know this was coming. It was kind of reacting in real time.
yeah,
So maybe he'll talk about it eventually,
yeah,
in depth. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool moment, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation and gave him his flowers. So it was pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, if it is, I could see him being like them. I mean, again, there's a few people like that kind of had recent retirements that could be a headliner, but he could be a headliner for Hall of Fame soon as well. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I could see it next year if he wants to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, even if he just goes to Saudi to be in the Hall of Fame class, you know what I mean? I could see that, them, throwing some money at him to do that. Yeah, not necessarily a match, but be a part of the festivities. I could see that. So,
yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens with Brock if it sticks or if it's part of a storyline. I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, six-way ladder match
This was
for the
great.
IC. Yeah, this was great. Yeah, this was nuts. We have Penta retained. He beat Javon Evans, JD Madonna, Dragon Lee, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Yeah, all kinds of zaniness in this match. Just everybody kind of getting their spots in and looked great. Yeah, JD looked like a madman, bumping all over the place. Yeah, Spanish
The
Fly.
Spanish Fly was nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, even the cool spot where who was it? Penta that launched Rey Mysterio like over the ropes, and he did the seated senton to Rusev on the ladder.
Onto the ladder. Yeah, the ladder. Like holy shit.
Yeah, that was a great spot, and it looked really good. They hit it perfectly. Like one of the things, yeah, I want to give everybody props for is like everything they did in the match, they hit like perfectly. Like almost
Yeah,
everybody hit amazingly. Yeah, Javon was flying all over the place, doing big springboard clotheslines, to people off the ladders. He did the OG
yeah,
cutter. Yeah, to
yeah.
Rusev.
That cutter that they end on Rusev on the ladder was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Like just how high he jumped. I'm like, holy shit! And then he hit it perfectly. I'm like, oh my god!
yeah.
And then yeah, and then yeah, the Canadian destroyer, the Mexican destroyer on fucking JD. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I mean, I saw it coming. I knew he was going to do that. I was just like, "Oh my god, just don't kill JD." But again, JD's a pro. He sold it beautifully. Like he kind of had this, like almost like this minuscule pause, right when he hit it, to kind of emphasize it, and then just like rolls off. Yeah, it looked great. But again, I think he was totally safe with it. Like I think they did it perfectly to where they sold it great,
Yeah,
and looked really good. But yeah, they got a huge reaction from the crowd. So yeah, everybody kind of got like their cool spots. Everybody looked good. You just knew, though, unfortunately, that Rusev and Dragon Lee and JD had zero chance whatsoever because they
because
skipped their entrances.
they didn't get an entrance. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? Like
yeah.
how shitty. So they didn't get
And
an entrance.
apparently, they didn't even get an entrance in front of the live crowd during the break.
Well, they just showed up and they just walk out and
They just walked out, no music, no nothing. They just walked
oh
to the
my
ring.
god. Uh,
They couldn't even get like a live entrance, like they do at Raw sometimes or something, off air. They at least still
yeah.
get the entrance in front of the crowd. Nope, not a
Well,
single
that's
one.
true. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we don't have time for that. We gotta do an ad for the what
We got to have a Chumba Casino ad with Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre and whoever and Tiffany Stratton. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. God damn it, this is crazy. Uh, I don't know, or whatever other things that promoting at the time. Was it like Sergeant something? There was also yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Insurance and drumsticks and all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, just stupid shit. We got to cut to somebody in a Mandalorian costume holding a baby Grogu or whatever to promote a movie too. Yeah, we have to do that.
I'll tell you the
So
weirdest thing. The weirdest thing was I think it started in the Trick Sammy match. But we'll get to the
yeah.
when Yeah.
That's next. So go ahead and start. You can start with that. 'Cause that's the next match. Yeah,
What
go
they,
ahead.
they
Yeah.
cut to, they go, hey, we got a special guest on on the comedy
Oh
table.
God. Oh
Some
God. Yeah.
fucking random billionaire dude, apparently. But I
Yeah.
didn't realize at the time that his um, headset had his own microphone attached. So for the whole time, I'm distracted. I'm like, why didn't he? Why is he not saying anything? This is fucking silly. He's just
Yeah.
sitting there, and then yeah. But like apparently he's just some billionaire who bought the opportunity. I'm like, why would we care? I don't give a shit. Why would I give a shit that somebody
I don't care either at all. And
like that?
apparently somebody said that that dude's like been in jail for like bank fraud. Like again, like he's like some crypto bro or whatever. He has like a crypto mining company because of course he does. So he's like a billionaire because he has like a crypto mining company. Yeah, just of course he is. Yeah. I mean, just yeah, to your point, it's just everything for sale with TKO. Like literally everything. You can just do whatever you want. Yeah,
Yeah,
can you wrestle on next year's WrestleMania if you pay enough money and just be in a match? Is
yeah,
that is
yeah.
that one of the tiers you can just do? I don't
But
know.
but why would they in any viewer or in the world go, oh that guy's on the at the table, cool. You didn't fucking say anything. Like
Okay, so here's somebody added this to the Wikipedia, and you could tell somebody who thought it was bizarre added this to the Wikipedia because it's on the guy's Wikipedia page. His name's Adam Weitzman. It says on April 19th, 2025, at night 2 of WrestleMania 42, Weitzman was introduced as a guest commentator for the WWE Women's Championship match between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. He had no microphone. He had no microphone on his headset. Contributed no commentary throughout the match, and was hypothesized by wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer to have simply paid for the privilege of sitting close to the action, which is true. That's what it was.
yeah, yeah. I was doing the Jake Cargill match, but yeah, that was so bizarre. It took me out of my. That was just like yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck's going on?
But yeah, to my point, at the bottom of his Wikipedia page, in 2004, Weitzman served 8 months of a year-long prison sentence after pleading guilty to 84 counts of bank fraud. So, so, so apparently, just in America, you can go to jail for 84 counts of bank fraud, and then a couple of decades later, be a billionaire. Fuck off.
Be a billionaire and be a commentary table at WrestleMania.
Jesus Christ. Life is really unfair sometimes. It's really weird. I try to be as nice to people as I can. And I work at a grocery store, and I'm not a fucking billionaire. I'm not committing bank fraud on people. Fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, whatever. Rich people get away with everything, I swear. but anyways, back to the match. Yeah, Trick had that bizarre rope thing that kept coming out of the stage just all the way down.
Yeah, I was like, that was weird.
That was weird.
For a minute there, it looked like fucking toilet paper.
Yeah, it's like he had toilet paper stuck to his cape. Yeah, it was weird. So yeah, that was bizarre. But yeah, Yachty, was kind of his hype man on the way to the ring. Doing at least they didn't change his music. They still did the whoop that trick music or whatever. So at least they didn't have him doing his own version.
I understand where they got the Yachty, but really, if there was any perfect time to do it, why don't you get Booker T?
Booker T. Yeah, no, I'm saying you can have Lil Yachty out there too, but have Booker T with a microphone just doing the
yeah.
Or hey, if you're gonna have a guest commentator, have a guest commentator for the trick match and have him on commentary doing the oh yeah, at least he makes sense as a guest commentator, right, Richie? Especially for a trick match, right?
Yeah.
Like god damn it, have him out there as a commentator, and yeah, get people who don't know about the trick thing, get them into it and have fun with it. So yeah. But anyways, but yeah, another one. Again, this was the match on here that felt completely rushed on the show. 7 minutes. Trick Williams, Sami Zayn. Again, they're going 100 miles an hour. Sammy's working full-blown heel, even though he's still getting weirdly cheered, and Trick is still technically on paper the heel, but he's getting cheered and he's a babyface in this match. And again, it's very, very odd. But it was back and forth. Some of the better 7 minutes of action you'll ever see, but it's still only 7 minutes. But at least, the right person, came out on top. We pushed the right talent on at least, on most of the shows. But yeah, Trick gets the win. wins the title at Mania. So at least we had the right outcome, Richie, in this one.
Yeah, and then like if they definitely the celebration at the end definitely cements him like, okay, he's definitely a baby face now because he had his family there and celebrating, yeah. So yeah, no, and I think going forward you probably have to like go for Sammy as a full on like heel. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where they're going with him, to be fair. But yeah, no. I mean, it was a decent 7 minutes. That brain buster on the apron was pretty gnarly. But yeah, like I would like it to go a bit more. But yeah, it's because it just felt like it was getting into that gear where it was just getting going and it finished. I was like, okay, yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah. So then we had we had Dominic Mysterio taking on Finn Balor, bringing back his demon persona in a street fight, which got added like on the pre-show that day. So yeah, with like a backstage segment. But yeah, he did his full-on demon thing. And again, the only thing I didn't love is that some of these entrances were to work better at night if the show was at night instead of during the daytime. Both Oba's thing with the lights, and the demon thing, having the lights come on and off, when he does the gimmick. Ronda had never seen the demon, by the way. She had no idea what this thing was. But again, for people like her who maybe missed that era of wrestling, that chunk of period, because she just missed, a lot of the 2010 stuff, right? Hey, show a video package of him doing the demon over the years and how it manifested, how it came about, why is it special? I don't know, maybe tell this story a little bit in a 4-minute video hype package instead of a ad break, like use that time to fill in the gaps for some people who don't know this stuff. But made more sense. But the match was fun, for what it was. Again, they were going, fairly quickly, but they got a little bit more time. They got 10 and a half minutes. Did some fun spots, broke a few tables, kendo sticks, some chairs, things like that. A few nasty spots here and there. In the end, Demon won out as we all kind of thought he would. We'll see where they keep going with this sort of Judgment Day thing, and how often he'll bring the Demon out. I don't want it to be like super often, but I think he could still do it on a fairly regular basis. To keep it interesting.
I every time he does like the coup de grace, especially when he's on the table, I keep worrying he's going to break his ankles. Like, Jesus. Because it's like, even at the end of the match when he did it on Dom, I'm like, man, it looked like it hurt you more than it hurt him. But anyway, it was a decent match. They had the chair on the they did a few gnarly spots with the chair. Yeah, this felt more gnarly than the Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match. And you hypothesized this would be brought to you by Street Fighter. Well, I don't think it was it?
I don't think it was. I just thought like if
it would make sense.
I was like Street Fight. I thought just they would shoehorn in the Street Fighter stuff in the middle of the.
Well, they showed the trailer like twice, so you'd think that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and then they did the Mortal Kombat stuff during the IC match for Penta because Penta was dressed as Shao Kahn. So that's where they worked in kind of some of the Mortal Kombat. I just thought it made sense if you're going to have an ad break. A Street Fight, have a Street Fighter. But I just thought that was what it was. And then we had Rhea and Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Rhea gains that title from Jade, and what I thought was probably Jade's best match she's had on pay-per-view. Probably, they kept it to perfect. This was one where I was fine with it going 10 minutes. Like it didn't need to go more than 10 minutes. Jade did her big power spots. It looked good. She looked dominant. And Rhea, has the fire, the comebacks and whatnot. That final sequence where Jade went for the Jada and then she like rolled out of it and went for the Riptide, but then like Jade like rolled out of the Riptide and like tried to hit it again, and then she countered out again into the Riptide, like that, like back and forth sequence they had. At the end was really great. They worked that perfectly. Jade
at one point does a one-winged angel.
Yeah, she did Kenny Omega's move, and even Kenny on Twitter, I think, was even just like, "I see you, Jade," or something like that. She, it wasn't as smooth as Kenny's, as far as like the setup. It took her a second to kind of get into position. But hey, if you got to take an extra second to make sure you don't, hurt somebody, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then when she did it, they landed just fine. Yeah, she did a one wing angels. I said the same thing. They called it like a Michinoku driver on commentary. I was like, that's not a Michinoku driver. Michinoku driver is like a body slam into a driver. Yeah, that's no.
Yeah. What's it? Yeah. Like Michael Cole calls a lot of things Michinoku drivers. I don't know why. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what did you think of this match? I thought it was pretty fun for what it was.
I thought it was fun, and it's a coup to like not taking the Jake Hager, but it's a coup to like I think like they always get like they know Rhea Ripley, and I think Rhea Ripley, the two women like who are really good at this, like Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, they always go, yeah, like you are really good at getting good matches out of people that like maybe we want to be better. So, so yeah, and she can pull a good match out of anybody. So yeah, but yeah, like Jade was pretty good in this match, and hopefully she, I don't know where they go from there with her. Maybe the feud continues. But yeah, like I think it was fun for what it was, and yeah, I think it was the right decision though, because I don't know, like what there's only there's so long that you can hold off on like just keeping Jade like defending the title, and then at least like Rhea will be fighting champion, and then they're more confident that she can work with anybody. So and then, like you said, there's other intriguing matches there, like Rhea Ripley and Jordan Grace. Give that to me right now. The big mummy match. Give that to me right now.
Yeah.
Muscle mummy match. Give that to me right now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, even like Rhea and I forgot to mention like Rhea and Julia would be really good. If they run that. But yeah, even Rhea and like if JC Jane comes over, Rhea JC.
Rhea Tiffany might be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She, if Rhea got a great match out of Jade, she can get a really good match out of Tiffany too. So I don't have a issues with that at all. So yeah, but again, like I said, fresh opponents. So I think it was the right idea. Yeah, get over to SmackDown, get some more star power. In the women's division over there, and I think it's fine. And again, it doesn't say that down the line you still can't do the Rhea Io rubber match. Like that's coming.
Yeah, they're clearly like going towards that at some point. At some point, they're going to do it. It's weird that like I understand Raw, it's built that they're really close friends, but sometimes I'm like, they're built really close. Are we supposed to believe that they're kind of lesbians? Sometimes I feel sometimes it's like
maybe
really close. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
close. Okay.
And just an advice for Io, if you're going to be flipping around all over the place at WrestleMania, maybe wear a shirt that has like straps or something, because her top almost fell off like twice.
Yeah.
Maybe don't wear like a strapless t-shirt. Maybe just wear like a regular shirt or something, to that degree. But anyways, I could see them even running that match like at a SummerSlam or something with the 2 nights now, because remember they have 2 nights of SummerSlam, so they got 2 nights to fill. So I could see them running the Rio Io match maybe down the line of SummerSlam. I could see that, and then finally kind of blowing that off, and that'd be a big match. So we'll get it eventually. Before the main event, John Cena came back out, and I had been wondering the whole time. I was like, "Where's Danhausen? Where's Danhausen?" He said he was doing something on WrestleMania. Where's Dan? And as soon as John was out there, he just thinking. As soon as the Miz and Kit showed up, I was like, "Oh, here's our Danhausen segment. It's coming. it's coming." I was like, all right, here we go. He comes out, confronts the Miz again with the mini.
Who's annoying in this segment? Michael Cole. Holy shit! Fucking
just shut up and let the segment just let them.
I'm not like one of those people that hey, like you can't easily offend or anything. But he did say midgets like 4 times. So like, Jesus Christ.
Well, and it's funny because he said it, and then immediately he was like, "They call themselves midgets. They call themselves midgets. They do that. So before you blow me up on Twitter, that's what they call themselves." He just wanted to like get that in there or whatever. You could have just called them you could have just called them mini Housens. Isn't that what Danhausen called them? You could have just said a bunch of mini Housens. Like that would have been perfectly fine, and we would have got the idea. Like that's what they were. They were mini Housens.
But he's like, "Oh, this is the greatest segment ever." Oh, like I can tell by your tone you're shitting on it. Shut up.
Stop. Yeah, just enough already. But I enjoyed it for what it was because I've just been enjoying, what Danhausen has been doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you didn't get to it, by the way, he did a lot of fun stuff around WrestleMania weekend. He got to go in the Goodyear blimp, which was great.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
he
saw the blimp, the Hausen blimp that they showed at the start of the WrestleMania, the blimp Hausen. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
well, he had that, but he also got to go into the Goodyear blimp, the one that flies over football games and stuff,
yeah,
like the actual blimp. Yeah, if you didn't see that segment, he actually got to ride in the real, like a real blimp. So and he assumed it was his, but they just hadn't painted it yet because it was so he was talking about how all my demand houses are getting met, eventually, piece by piece. But yeah, he did some fun stuff. He had some fun interviews. He had a good interview with Peter Rosenberg where they talked about more of his like family life, but he was still kind of in character. So he was like, "Oh yes, we've got a little baby Hausen, at the house, 9 months old. He's very small, very evil, things like that. Just being a goofball, having fun, doing his thing. And then he had some fun interactions. Some little mini interviews that were good. He had a cool interaction that went viral of I guess a girl that posts a lot on TikTok who's like deaf, or her and her dad, I think, are like deaf and they do sign language. And she met him and she's a fan and like showed him how to say "you are cursed" like in sign language. It was like "you are like cursed" or something like that. And he's just like, "Oh yes, cursed, yes." So like that was fun. So you can find all that stuff online. But he did some fun stuff throughout the weekend.
It's
Good time.
so wild to think like, but if we did like best, if we were to do breakout wrestler of the year now, like Danhausen might be up there.
Yeah, because it's weird because it's not like he's new. He's been around, but the fact that WWE in 2 months has done more with him than AEW did with him in 4 years is bizarre.
Yeah,
Like, he was with them for, and he even talked about that. Rosenberg or somebody brought up like his AEW time in one of the interviews, and he's just like, "Oh yes, I was there a long time, but you didn't see me that much. Danhausen wasn't on TV very much, didn't do a lot." He's like, "How much did you wrestle there?" He's like, "Oh, not much." A few matches here, a few matches there, not much. Yeah, it's crazy how they have like strapped the rocket on him, but they've kind of used him perfectly. Like he's wrestled one match. I don't need to see him wrestle all the time. Like he can mostly just do backstage segments and promos and whatever, just comedic bits because he's a comedic character. He's a meme wrestler. That's totally fine. And you need that. And you need that on the show occasionally. I'm fine with those breaks, we have something funny. But like apparently his merchandise is fucking flying, so he's gonna have a hell of a bonus check when they get his first bonus check. But Rosenberg even asked about that. He's like, "Have you seen any of the Checkhausens from your merchandise?" He's like, "Oh, I think they do them every quarter or so, but it's going to be a very lucrative one. Lots of human monies." So, but I do know for a fact, like legit, his T-shirts and stuff have been selling very well. So, like his merch is going.
yeah. So yeah, like the fact that you wouldn't like capitalize that on AEW, like he's easy to book. Like you don't even have to give him like stuff. Like he's a very creative guy, very funny, very funny dude. Like you just go give him bullet points, go, "Yep, just do that," and then he'll be really he's funny. You don't have to.
It's literally like, okay, this week you're going to interact with this character. What can you guys do in a minute and a half? You know what I mean? Like, what can you guys have fun with? Like, how can we do a quick fun bit and then like move on. And it's like great, and I look forward to it every week. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like like that, and he's over now. Like, he'll be like like. I could see him being in this company for years.
No, he could be like the next like kind of R-Truth, like just that mascot kind of guy that just is like around and is funny and the crowd likes him. And I don't need to see him like wrestling. Like, look, I know occasionally he's gonna get in the ring. I get it. Like occasionally he's gonna, once every now and then he's gonna go try to curse somebody and they just like attack him and then he's gonna have some kind of match. I get it. But like for the most part, 90% of the time, I'm fine with him just being like the backstage segment guy. I'm fine with that. And he seems to be having a blast. Like he seems like genuinely happy, like even in character, you can tell like over the WrestleMania weekend, everybody like he's genuinely having a blast. And probably because he's finally like getting paid, on the biggest stage of them all and he's over, and he's just like, he's finally like made it. And it took a long time. That dude's been hustling his ass off for like years trying to make it. So,
and he gets to interact with these like, I mean, there's stars in AEW, but there's like he gets to interact with like huge, like like these football people, Like, so yeah, and yeah, no, I think it's the fact that I'm sure he pinched himself when he was with in the ring with John Cena. He was like, oh man, because that was funny because when he came out, he goes, I need to talk to you, and he goes up to him, big fan, thank you.
Big fan. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Big fan.
Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Even Cena was funny. He's like, Miz comes in all hot and he's just like, how's it going, Mike? How are you, man? Long time no see. and then he no sold Kid just being like, and you are?
And you and the crowd's like,
No, even that stuff was fun. And Cena was genuinely, you could tell he was like laughing his ass off. Like he was
yeah,
having
and he goes,
fun.
that was great.
Yeah, you could tell he was just having fun with the Danhausen shit. And like, and real quick, Alvarez actually had a good one. He talked about how literally like 6 months ago or something, like back in October or November, he like saw Danhausen at like a random indie show in like Spokane, Washington. You know what I mean? Like, before he even got signed. And he's just got like a merch booth and he's at like an indie show, just like interacting, but just hustling indie shows, right? And then like 6 months later, you're at WrestleMania doing a segment with John Cena. How bizarre is that? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy, but like but the fact that he's so talented and funny that he there's even like from back when he was in I think it wasn't in AEW, but it was like when he was in AEW, but he was having back and forth with MJF, who's very professional, doesn't break. He almost broke when he almost laughed.
Yeah. Right.
And so, he can break me. So yeah, no, it's cool. It's a cool story. I like how cool stories in wrestling.
Apparently CM Punk was like instrumental in getting him hired too, because like they're actual buddies, in real life. There's videos of them like at Comic Cons and stuff, like doing random shit. It's fun. You can go.
Yeah, they have that same kind of friend group. Like tonight, like on Raw, like Punk's talking about Bo Luders, who's a musician. Dan Danhausen was at his funeral as well. So like they have the same sort of friend. They have the same social group. So I think they're really, really close friends. So that's cool. It's a cool story. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a very cool story. So I'm happy for the guy, and I'm enjoying his work. So it's having a good time. And your point, and I know we're going long, we'll move on, but your point about like those people we talk about that could be like a breakout wrestler of the year. I think you can legit make a case for Danhausen. They could be a breakout wrestler of the year, even though he's been around. I mean, if Dominic Mysterio, if we can do that for Dom, and he'd already been wrestling for 3 or 4 years, you can make a case for it. Like a new character, or something that reinvention. I think counts 100%. So I'm with it. Let's get to the main event. We had CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and talking about the entrances, Roman was back to his tribal chief theme, which was awesome.
The piano, that was kind of cool.
The piano and things. It reminded me of the 39 entrance. I'm glad he's back to his old music. That old music rules. And then CM Punk, on his walk to the ring, got the AFI music, the Ring of Honor music, which was great. That was awesome because that song rules, and I'm a Ring of Honor mark from back in the day, so I loved it. That was great. And then I listened to it all day at work the next day. I was like, fuck yeah, that song rules. It was kind of cool because it wasn't like his entrance, but it was like his kind of walk up, music to the ramp. So and then they hit his cult of personality. So that was a fun entrance. And he had a jacket with the Larry patch on it. That was fun. That was cool. So kind of honored his dog.
He had like a bunch of I think he had something for Bo Luders. He had one for like a couple of staff members who have passed away from WWE and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool of them. But this match was a lot better than Cody and Randy. This match ruled.
This match ruled, and I legit think this is like a match of the year candidate for at least for WWE so far. And I can't really say that for a lot of matches in WWE so far this year. That I haven't really had a standout match yet that I could legit say was like a match of the year candidate. This was awesome. This was great. I was super into it. I just think they told a great story. Punk's character and Roman's character like interactions throughout the match was great. There was even just like little bits of like how much he hated him, where he's just like slapping him on the back randomly or something, or just like doing random shit, and like they'd stand up and he headbutt Roman real quick, but then fucking sell his forehead, because he just headbutted a Samoan, which is stupid. And just like little things of, I got worried for a minute, Richie, because there was a moment like 10 or 12 minutes in where like I think Roman hit a spear or something, or they hit their first GTS, and I was like, oh no, don't tell me they're like already getting to like the finisher segment of the match. I was like, oh god, no, like don't tell me we're there already. But then like they kept going for like another 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, cool. That was just like sort of an initial thing, and they did some other shit. But yeah, the announce tables got broken. Elbow drop, power bomb, all kinds of stuff. It felt intense. It felt dramatic. It was given the proper time. They told a great story. Both the characters were entertaining to watch, with them interacting with each other. Roman went back to like the guillotine, which he hadn't done in a while. So that was fun to see. And then, it's just, he did a finish that he's done a couple of times, even in AEW, where he like tries to go for a second GTS and just kind of collapses. Somebody posted a video of him doing that a couple of times with Moxley and MJF, a couple of those guys. So it's something he's done before, but he does it really well. And then Roman hitting like kind of the super runny spear thing and getting the win. So I think we all had Punk winning, but I think just because we didn't know if Roman was going to be a full-time guy again, or if he's still just going to be like a random part-timer. But he's made that very clear that he's increasing his dates, and you're going to see him a lot more. So if that's the case, I'm fine with it. As long as he's on TV regularly, I'm fine with it. But Richie,
I'm definitely when it happened, I'm like, oh damn, I like Roman, but no. But then I'm like, when he said that, when he clarified that, I'm like, okay, I have no issue. Okay, I don't have a problem with you winning now. I've been a fan of his for a while, and I realized, because for that long time, you're like, I don't see what they see in him, blah, blah. And then all it took was him to turn heel. I'm like, oh, fuck, you are.
No, all it took was him to be an arrogant prick fucking heel, with Paul Heyman, and like be like, I'm the tribal chief, the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread, but like not like in the WWE they were pushing him as like the greatest thing as the babyface, but like no, just be a fucking natural heel and just be like, I'm better than everybody here and I know it, and like it fucking worked,
and he's really good at it. He's really good at, and then like you don't script out his promos, just let him talk, and he's really good at promo.
Even just the little things where he's just like, man, what are you talking about, bro? Like this like kind of laid back thing of just like, shut the hell up, dude. You ain't nothing. Like that way he kind of does his like comeback sometimes where he's just like kind of half laughing, people like where he does it. He's really fun.
I think we talked about it when I think it was the first or second Cody match when he does Cody's crossroads and Cody kicks out and he just goes, oh, that move sucks.
That move sucks. Because he looked over at Paul and said it. He said it to Heyman and he was like, man, that move sucks. and it was like a natural moment between Paul where Paul was kind of laughing, because it was like an improvised thing. Like that's what I mean. His character, I think he's having more fun with with the tribal chief character than he ever did, trying to be like, just like strong baby face,
They're trying to make him John Cena when you like. So the reason John Cena is John Cena. You can't make it. You can't just make people be a different. You can't make another Hulk Hogan. You can't make another Rock. You gotta let these people be their own people. So, but then there's that. That's right. I always get worried when CM Punk is going to the top turnbuckle because it like he hit it, but his elbows always looked wonky as well. Like, oh, you're not coordinated, and you're older. I don't want you to do this. Go to go. I mean, he hit it fine, but I'm like, oh god. That looked all right.
It looked good, and for a fact that he's 47 or something like that, man, that fucker can still go, man. He can still go. I don't care what anybody says. He's great, and he was great in this match. Like he turned it up, and him and Roman's been great. During that run, he had really good matches, and he was good here. So it totally. If he's gonna at least be, I'm not saying he has to wrestle week to week. If he just wrestles like once a month, you know what I mean? I'm fine with that. If he's at least around on TV cutting promos, doing stuff, I'm fine with that as long as he's around. But as long as he's around and he gets some fresh matches, I'm cool with it. So it works.
I don't know who the heel or babyface would be in the Jacob Fatu feud, but I think it's just be like a maybe just a family kind of between a
Mhm.
few. There you go.
I
But
think Roman can kind of be a tweener because if he faces Gunther too, he's gonna have to go back to being a babyface, I'd imagine, because Gunther's a heel. So yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So yeah, no, but I'm looking forward to that match. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to you know I look forward to Roman on my TV now, which is good. It's a
Yeah,
good thing.
no, well, and especially since his promos have gotten better, so it should be fun. And Jacob, is a very believable guy in his promos, just the way he talks. Like it's just very
Yeah,
like natural, like they're just letting him be him. It feels like he's talking, and I think that's one thing that, say what you will about this TKO bullshit and whatever, but at least what Triple H has done has let some of those guys who know how to talk has just let them talk and be themselves.
yeah,
I always
yeah,
appreciate you can tell he lets CM Punk just do his promos the way he wants to do them, and he does
yeah,
them. He lets Roman be laid back Roman. He let Cena be Cena. He lets Jacob be Jake. Pretty much everybody who's on the mic. He just they probably do the thing where they just give him like general bullet points. Hey, just make sure you hit this, and this. You know what I mean? Just within the thing, and then do it in your own words. Do your thing, and that's fine. That's how most wrestlers like to do it, anyways. Yeah, put it in your own words and do your
And
thing.
while we're like on the topic of when we talked about entrance music before, I gotta be if it is Death Rebel, I'll give him credit, but that Jacob Platoo's music's badass. I get pumped.
No,
I get
no, his music is good, and Solo Sokoa's music fucking rules too. I've always liked his music too. The
yeah,
dun 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 dun, dun break it all, like it's great stuff. It's
but
good.
it just pumps me up. That dun 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 dun. Oh shit.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun. No, it feels like an old school theme of just like themes should convey and kind of match the character. To me is what it is, and that thing says like somebody's. Like it kind of matches a werewolf thing, like somebody sneaking up on you and is gonna
yeah,
fucking pounce, like that's what it sounds like. The Solo Sokoa thing sounds like a kind of like a thumping sort of, I'm the king of the world sort of a
I mean,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The Roman classic tribal chief theme is like a majestic, epic kind of, I'm on top of the world sort of a theme, like again, the ones that are good match the character and match the gimmick, and make it and make it work, So
yeah,
I'm glad they've got a few. The Gunther thing we talked about, the classical music, it matches that version of that character, the serious I'm the best wrestler in the world, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of character, that's it.
yeah,
It works.
yeah, and I don't know whether maybe Cody and Punk are going to be at SummerSlam, or maybe they're teasing that for. I mean, that could be a future Mania match. Yeah, but
Mhm.
but yeah, I did like that. It's like what, sometimes title shots can just kind of fall in my lap out of midair, or and it's like So I think that's that'd be a big Mania match. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they have to do that at SummerSlam. I think that's really something you could tease out for a whole year. Yeah, and drop little hints here and there every time they have an interaction. Drop something here, drop something there. Keep it in the back of people's heads. But that's a big enough match for a Mania. 100% is Cody and Punk.
yeah,
That's a Mania match. So
yeah,
I would hold off and just tell that thing long term and just have them work people in the meantime. And eventually come back around to it if you can.
Just have different feuds at SummerSlam, and then work back to it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that'd be the best.
So so we got some stuff set up for the future. Raw did a good job of again propelling some new feuds and some fresh matches forward as well. So and dropping some little hints of things to come. So at least the storytelling, in the future was a success. Just getting to kind of overall thoughts. I thought at least the booking decisions for the most part were correct. I will say they got that right. They put over some of the younger talent. Obviously Oba got the big win, so he got the big push. That's good. Trick got the title. That's good. Javon, even though he didn't win, like he
looked great.
He looked great. He looked great. He hit his stuff. He stole the show, as far as that goes. And I think he's going to get the IC title eventually in the next couple of months, like 100%. Like he's going to have gold very soon. I just think they're going to do it more of in a one-on-one setting, so he kind of gets the big one-on-one moment just when they do it. So that could even be, a SummerSlam thing where he gets a big moment of SummerSlam. I could see that 100%. So that could happen. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the booking decisions were strong. Rhea was the right choice to maybe go to SmackDown. Roman, yeah, if he's going to be back, it does kind of freshen it up a little bit. Looking back on that, I think just the stuff that just really stood out was the ad stuff was bad. Yeah, some of the presentation and the downtime in between was bad, and yeah, the Cody Randy stuff was not booked well at all. The Pat McAfee stuff, yeah, fucked that up royally, pretty bad. And the timing issues, yeah, a lot of these matches going short, especially on night one, really hurt the presentation of Mania. So yeah, as far as overall, I would say it was kind of a middle of the road Mania if you look at the whole thing in a whole picture. Night two was very good. Night two was excellent. So if you just take night two in a vacuum, it was great. But you have to factor in night one because it's still part of WrestleMania 42. So when you factor that in, it does drop kind of the score a little bit to whereas, night two, fuck, man, night two was like a 9 out of 10. It was great, with like a match of the year candidate, good stuff, great first hour, pretty damn good stuff. But yeah, when you factor in that night one, which was like a 5 out of 10, you just kind of got to average it out, so it ends up being like, sort of 7 out of 10 WrestleMania, Richie, at least for me, personally, because you can't ignore night one. It is what it is.
That's the issue. It's like, the pacing of night one. I think, you get, because of night one, you get people on there to go, oh, it's the worst ever. I'm like, yeah, you just say that because it's the most recent one. You'll do that.
Go watch WrestleMania 4 with like 16 matches on that show, and they're all just like the most forgettable bullshit matches ever, with that tournament and shit. And like, get back to me, man. Even when we were watching with Malcolm, what was it, WrestleMania? Was it 5 or whatever, the Warrior, Hogan thing, and like just trying to get to that when there was like 14 matches, like it was a fucking slog sometimes to try to get there.
Watch WrestleMania 9 and get back to me, man. It's not
yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. It's like, and heck, just. But anyway, it's like, but like, so if it was if night one was as good as night two, this would be out there, to be honest. But it wasn't. I've got to factor in night one, and it had pacing issues. Had a lot of, had the Cody Randy match, which was bizarre, and it had, matches went short. So I wouldn't go much higher. I'd probably go like at 7.5, 7.5. Yeah,
I'm still here. I'm just turning the camera off for Ron to think real quick. So, but I'm sorry. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, you have to factor in the whole thing. All together, it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, overall, night two, if you're gonna watch, either one, or if you didn't get a chance to check it out, night two definitely is the one to go to. And then go back and watch Gunther and Seth Rollins on night one. I think you're pretty good overall. So good stuff there. So yeah, we'll wrap it up. For any other brief thoughts on Mania before we talk about our next show and start wrapping things up?
No, just it's like. I'm kind of I'm getting used to the two night settings, I guess. I think it's like I don't like. I'm worried that like they're just going to do 2 nights for all their not all the pay-per-views, but the big ones. I did hear rumors about the Money in the Bank going to. I'm like, you don't need that to go to.
No, I'm almost 100% certain though they're going to do a 2-night Royal Rumble.
And Royal Rumble,
because I could definitely see them doing. Yeah, Rumble one, like the women's Rumble is the main event on night one, the men's on night two, and then doing 3 matches in addition to that on each night. I could see that 100%.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it is what it is, but I just feel like maybe having WrestleMania 2 nights and that's it would makes WrestleMania feel special. But if you do the other ones, it doesn't. But I get, I don't know, I get it, but like it's decent show with a lot of some issues, but the thing is that I have gives me more hope than maybe at the Vince era is that there's a lot of people that are the day-to-day operations that know that's an issue, whereas like when it was Vince era, he's a boss and he was causing the issue. He was the main go-to person and he was causing the issues and so I don't know. I and then there's people who obviously self-aware enough, like obviously Pat was like, yeah, this isn't working. I'll just take myself out. So I think there's like there's like things can be like mendable. Or, in a perfect world, I wish they weren't with TKO, but it is. But I think you could, they're, they're not like they don't feel like. I think this the WrestleMania and many subsequent events proves that they're not like handcuffs to them. Like, hey, we're not going to be bullied by you. That's not going to work. But we're going to fans, so we're not doing this. We're not going to have Rock, and we're not going to have Rock versus Roman. It's going to be Cody. Okay, I know Rock likes to think he was the man that one that made this decision on that. But no, he didn't. But yeah, so I think going forward, like I think the WTK ratio was probably still be a bit kind of rocky there, but like not like it's I like how WWE kind of put their foot down a bit in certain situations. So and it's still still a decent show, still better pay-per-views than we got in the Vince era. So for everyone trying to maybe,
go back and watch the pay-per-views from like 2019. It was bad, like really bad. Like some of those booking decisions and just getting the same matches over and over again, and it's not good. So so there's troubles internally, conflict between the creative people and the business side of people. So I think they're trying to figure that out right now and trying to write a line there, and do what they can. So I think they got thrown a curveball with the Pat stuff, and then just tried to make it go away as quickly as possible, just write it off, as quickly as they could. And unfortunately, it interfered in a big pay-per-view and made for a not great, night one main event. So, we'll see what happens in the near future. So that was WrestleMania. An interesting show, a lot of things to come out of it, a lot of things to talk about. We've got a pretty clear direction, at least for Backlash as well. A couple of matches almost set in stone, not quite like 100%, but like, we're pretty much getting, Roman and Jacob. We're probably going to get a Seth and Braun Breaker. We're getting probably a Gunther and LA Knight, a couple of things, already in the pipeline, for that show. So certainly better than what, like you said, the celebrity tag team match we were probably going to get. I'd rather have the show kind of setting up than that. I think it's much better.
One other thing I just thought of that annoyed the shit out of me, and it's only a small segment. Night one where they bring out all the Hall of Fame people.
Mm-hmm.
It annoyed me that AJ came out before Stephanie. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah. JPO said the same thing. Even when we were watching along, he just went like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here! Come on, like Steph. That's just you putting yourself over, Steph. Like, stop. Can we at least put over the more wrestler of the wrestler Hall of Fame? Come on, like, get out of here." He said the same thing. That was annoying.
Yeah. So I was like, nah. And she did like an hour, like fucking. She went on and on in the speech as well. So I was like, no, I'm good.
So
yeah. But
it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So, as far as the what we got coming up, Richie and I again have talked behind the scenes. So in JPO's absence, we're thinking we could probably mostly cover a lot of the stuff between the two of us. Just doing a bi-weekly show just for now. Until he gets back. So we're gonna probably take every other week, and what we're gonna do is just double up with Wheel of Movies. When we do hop on streams, we're gonna do Wheel of Movies and then hop on this and talk wrestling. So it kind of coincides with that as well. So we can just kind of do our thing and then have every other week off. So which is fine. We'll keep up with the news. I'll keep up with the fantasy. Everything we'll still keep up with. And actually, it's going to work out quite nicely, Richie, because next week would have kind of been a dead week anyway. So if we skip that and just come back on the 7th, that's really 2 days before Backlash. So we can talk about the card for Backlash. We'll do our predictions, and then we want to do I figure might as well do a retro Backlash. Why not? It's just me and you. I like doing the retro shows with you, so have a little fun with that. And just the two of us, we can cover the news, cover the 5 or 6 matches. What are we gonna do for Backlash and then do a retro show? We've been kind of doing the wheel thing lately. So I look back in our archives.
We've done Backlash 3000.
Yeah. I looked that up as well. I looked up Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast Backlash, and yeah, I found we'd reviewed a couple of the recent ones, and then the only retro one we've done is 2000. So yeah, I've got a wheel pulled up. We can spin the wheel of Backlash and and kind of get a retro one. So I just have, because remember they jumped after 2009 to like 2016.
Yeah,
So I just have 99 through 2009 minus 2000. So that's what I have on
yeah.
here. So just those years. So I'll shuffle it up real quick and let's see what we come up with. And it'll be totally random here. So, it might be the one we
Oh,
wanted to talk about. All right. Fuck yeah.
yeah.
2001. Sweet. So we naturally spun it. Nice. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, with that awesome Rhino and Raven match that I love so much. God damn it, that match is great.
Yeah, and the ultimate submission match as well, which is really good.
The ultimate submission match. Yeah, I was saying, let me pull up the card. I won't like go over like 100% of the details, but at least kind of the card for the show. Let's see what we got. So Backlash 2001. That was the one where also in the Sunday Night Heat, Jerry Lynn won the light heavyweight title before the show.
Crash.
You remember that? And beat Crash. Yeah. So so we got X Factor versus the Dudley Boys in a 6-man tag. All the Dudleys, Bubba Ray, Devon, and Spike. Rhino Raven, that awesome hardcore match. That match rules. That match is so great. I could watch that match a million times. I don't get sick of it. It's awesome. I can't wait to talk about it. William Regal and Chris Jericho, Duchess of Queensberry. There you go. So that's a wacky match. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Benoit, Kurt Angle, 30-minute ultimate submission match. So yeah, that should be fun.
Shane McMahon, Big Show.
Shane McMahon, Big Show, Last Man Standing. Triple threat for European title. Matt Hardy, Christian, and Eddie Guerrero should be a good little quick match. It was that kind of weird tag team match that was the show where it was for like the tag team Intercontinental and WWF Championship all in one tag team match. So it was Stone Cold and Triple H versus the Brothers of Destruction with like the weird rules about who pinned who to win what titles. So yeah, we'll see how they explain it. Figure out. I haven't gone back and watched that match in a while, so I remember it being a strange one the way they laid it out. But it's still having a lot of heat, for what it was. So the 2-man power trip and the Brothers of Destruction. So, I remember this being a pretty good show. So we should have fun with that.
We've also last retro pay-per-view we did was Wrestlemania 2001, and we're literally doing the month afterwards.
Oh yeah, I know, and you saw it on screen. I just spun the wheel and we spun it. So, it's not like behind the scenes. I mean, we talked about Backlash 2001, but I just did it on screen and we just landed on it. So why not? It's not like it's our show anyways. We're gonna do it. I just like to spin the wheel and just go random. But that's a good show. So we'll talk about that 2 weeks from now. Yeah, we'll watch a little Backlash 2001, and then we'll talk about Backlash 2026, 25 years later. So and see where we're at. So we'll wrap it up there, and we'll come back in 2 weeks, both for that and Wheel of Movies. And we'll just see how the future plays out from here. But Richie, anything you want to throw out there before we get out of here tonight?
You can find me on we'll get to Wheel of Movies, 3 Tints of Humor. So check that out. It's fun. You can and I also I'm on Wildlife Horror occasionally. So you can hit me out there. When JPO is ready and gets a back up, I'll be on there doing some stuff. You can have tournament fights, tier ranker occasionally. I'll be on Lights Out in the Costco days, so taking on Jeremy Potters. So check all that out, and I'll pop up here and there as well, and other leagues here and there as well. So.
Awesome. And you can mostly find me over on the Movie Hero Network. In our Movie Hero Network Facebook group as well, where we have a bunch of people posting all kinds of shows and content in there. You can mostly find me over there hosting or co-hosting tournament fights, tier ranker fights. We're getting back to some Seen and Heard trivia, so we got that going on. And then we got a recast coming up for The Mummy on Monday for the 1999 movie, so that should be a lot of fun. And my monthly mistake drinking game with Wolfman, I believe his channel is called Here's the Thing. I'll link it in the Movie Hero Network group. We pivoted a little bit. We just kind of did a flip-flop since all the marketing for Mortal Kombat is kind of in full swing and it comes out soon, we're gonna pivot to the one we're gonna do anyways in May, so to coincide with. So we're gonna do Mortal Kombat Annihilation and drink along to that one. And yeah, I just rewatched it again today, man. That movie sucks. That movie's really bad. But you know what? In kind of an entertainingly crazy way, because that movie is like you can have drinking fun with that movie and it flies by. So I'll at least say that it wasn't boring. So it's not like a slog to get there. You know, it's wacky. And yeah, we're gonna drink for every bad special effect. Every time they do a move from the game, every time they say Shao Kahn or Earth or Outworld and all kinds of shit in that thing. So it should be a good time. So if you just want to see us get drunk to Mortal Kombat on screen, you can tune in for that. So
every time you're like, hey, you weren't in the last one, but you're the same character.
Yeah, well, and that another thing of that is every time they introduce a new character who wasn't in the previous movie, which is like they have like 12 new characters in that movie, so it's like every time some new character shows up that we've never seen, because that was a movie where they totally like, hey, let's cram in this character from the game and this character from the game, you know, just for one fight scene. So yeah, just there's smoke for no reason. There's
there's smoke and
Cyrax and Shiva just shows up out of nowhere for no reason. Fights Sonya for 2 minutes and leaves. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's not a good movie. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll have fun with it. So it'll be a good time. So we'll wrap it up there. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks for the Lonely Marks. If you don't see us next week, don't panic. We'll be back and we'll get caught up on all the news. We'll talk Backlash and we'll talk retro Backlash for 2001. So it should be a good time with me and Richie. The show will go on. I promise. We both want to talk about wrestling, and we're totally fine. Just keeping the vibes alive. So we're going to keep it going and keep talking the wrestling. So all right, but that'll wrap it up for tonight. So for my partner, of course, Richie Goodacre, I am Austin Pezhel. We'll see you guys next time on the Lonely Marks. Bye.